All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, we're live. Welcome to REMUX Podcast, episode 3. We did it. I can't believe we made it this far. I'm your host, Anthony James, and I am with Charlie, as usual, our native movie Squib, who, if you haven't checked out his latest video, go check it out. It's on youtube.com/the movie Squib. Really good stuff.
If you
Anyway,
like mediocre stuff, check it out.
yeah. Now that we got like all the formal crap out of the way, I feel like we could discuss pretty much anything we want tonight. I got some movie trivia coming up later. I downloaded from Steam. I haven't checked it out yet, so if this thing sucks, I apologize, but it's not my fault. So
Yeah, we're new. We're
Yeah.
noobs.
yeah, we're noobs. But hopefully the audio levels are good. We got a couple of people. We got a couple people watching on Twitch. Thank you. YouTube and Rumble. So yeah, it looks like we got a few people watching, which is great because it's only our third time doing it, so we appreciate it. Working throughout all the bugs, and we really appreciate the support. So let's get it started. So Friday night. I don't know what to call the show. Actually, I was talking to my wife downstairs earlier, and I'm like, I really need like a name for our Friday show.
Yeah, we could. Have to come up with something catchy. Everybody always has a catchy name for their podcasts.
I know, right? Like Friday Night Tights, or the guys over there are neurotic, and I don't know. I put Friday Night Frights. You get it?
Sounds awful. Sounds
Yeah,
very
it's
bad.
pretty whack.
My face actually got a little bit red when you say that. When you said that, that's how embarrassing that was.
Dude, check this out though. I set up our live stream so that we have like some pretty snazzy stuff, right? So now it's like, here's our podcast. It's just the two of us, and when we're discussing whatever it is that we want to talk about. I got some web presentation here, right? I don't know if you could see it, Charlie, but we got some
Without
web
my
pres. And then also I got like, our game press for when we play. But the cool thing is, I also got I got chat somewhere in here. So like we could answer all the non-chats that we get regarding
one person that just
Yeah.
says, "You guys fucking suck."
I know, like, you guys fucking suck. Like, thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are not professional YouTubers. I was actually gonna, we don't have all this snazzy stuff. We're just getting started. So like I don't want to be fake and pretentious like those guys, but I had like my glasses on before. I was like, whoa, like very cool. Very cool. Right? Do it like that. Like those professional
Yeah.
YouTubers do. So
Well,
I figured we could watch some trailers tonight too, if you're down with that. I know that
Yeah.
you've done a couple trailer review videos. I've watched them. I haven't done any, but you've seen more trailers than me. So
yeah, I mean, I watched Oppenheimer, I watched Dune 2, I watched The Meg, and then the other older trailers that I watched before. I don't know if anything new has come out. Has any new trailers have come out since then?
I don't think so. To be honest, though, I'm pretty bad with trailers, so like I don't really know like where or what's
Thanks,
coming out
Tom.
and when.
It is a slow news week, and the only news that I heard is that there's a possibility that the Fast X movie, which is split up into two parts,
Oh yeah,
supposedly the studio is pulling a Hobbit, where they're like, can you make it three parts?
I did. I read that Vin Diesel said something about it possibly be the Fast X being possibly a trilogy, but they weren't sure how
Yeah.
serious he was. But I don't know. Guess we'll
It's tough for him
find
because
out.
he is a bit of a he does love to hype his stuff, and to be fair, he's got a lot at stake. But yeah, I heard that as well. I heard that The Rock may come back, which is really interesting because they got a
Really?
lot of beef. Yeah, I mean he said that, but that one is more unbelievable than the splitting it up into three parts. Like
Yeah, I
I,
agree
I
with that.
find it I mean, maybe if it's the very last movie, I can see it being a thing where, in movies, instead of saying that the person is in the movie, they'll say with. So it'll say like with Dwayne Johnson, meaning that he's just gonna have a small cameo and that's it.
Wait, like with a person, or with like when
With,
you whiff a baseball bat?
I can't say th because I'm
Yeah,
I'm a dirty Spaniard, so I can't say th. So it's with
fair enough.
monsters.
Fair enough. Like English is not my first language.
Yeah. People are like, did you cross over after Title 42 ended?
Crossover. Oh
No,
my god, yeah.
I'll be there
Came
forever.
through the southern border today to do this podcast. We
Yeah.
thank you for your dedication to the Remux podcast. I
Well,
actually I want to start the show off by I saw a video and I was gonna send it to you, but I figured I would just wait for the podcast this week. I saw this awesome video. I can't take full credit for this because it's not my original stuff, but somebody trashed the Star Wars saga, if you will, in a very awesome way. And basically, they stated this video was all about trashing Star Wars in the most awesome way because they said all the titles of the song of the movies are wrong. They're incorrectly named. And
oh,
if you want, I'll go through it real quick.
uh-huh.
And not the video itself. We'll just talk about it because I'm not going to play somebody else's video. But I can't take full credit for it. But I thought it was pretty genius, so I figured I would discuss it with you and let me know what you think, so we could run
Yeah.
down them. All right.
As
So,
a, as a, by the way, for the two people who are here, it's not that I'm a full defender of Star Wars, but I am the type of person that will play devil's advocate as much as possible for Star Wars. So he's telling me this because he knows that I'm going to say, well, so and so and so. So be prepared because
he's
I'm not going
he's
to be
100% right. Over the summer, I think it was the summer, my cousin came down with her son, and he's a big Star Wars fan. He pretty much likes anything on the big screen, and I was trashing the prequels, and I just told him exactly why it sucked, but he didn't want to hear it, right? Like he was kind of like, no, man, they're the greatest. So I introduced him to the Plinkett videos by Red Letter
Oh,
Media, and it changed his mind. He was kind of like, you know what, you're right. Revenge of the Sith is pretty bad, and I'm like, yeah. Now I know that that's a movie that you kind
okay.
of like,
And
you enjoy.
yeah, full disclosure, I love Red Letter Media. Let me just
Yeah, I
rewind.
love him.
I love Red Letter Media. I actually love that whole Plinkett thing. I love all their Star Wars stuff.
I do too.
I still disagree, and I still like Revenge of the Sith. I think it's my favorite out of the prequel trilogy. And I know it's one of those things that, like, I feel like if there was a crowd, they'd be throwing tomatoes. Like, but I'm not gonna apologize. I
I mean,
like it.
don't. I realize I know that I am a little bit more cynical than your average person, but it's for good reason. And I would say just maybe 5-6 years ago, even I was a huge nerd, just like following the nerd culture, loving the nerddom, if you want to call it that. And I was in the gaming industry, for those that don't know, and the gaming industry became a huge cesspool, and my eyes just kind of awoken to the bullshit that happens inside of Hollywood, no matter if you're in industry or games or whatnot. And I became insanely cynical, and I started criticizing things a little bit harder than I normally do. Like I would have, because it's almost like, I don't know, I was like QAnon now for the industry, where now I'm the guy that's poking holes in everything, but it's for good reason. But I do have my guilty pleasures. But yeah, I know that Sith was Revenge of the Sith was your favorite prequel.
I would say that's my favorite out of the three. I would say if I had to rate the three prequels, it would be Revenge of the Sith, and then not Attack of the Clones, The Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones, which is the weakest one out of the
Okay,
bunch.
admittedly, now we've known each other for several decades, and we saw Phantom Menace together many, many, many times
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah,
movies. I would admittedly say that I probably had seen that movie at least 8 or 9 times in the movies.
yeah.
Now, do I think it's as good as when I first saw it? No, absolutely not, because I got smarter as a human being, right? I just wasn't like, I was transfixed in the fandom, if you will, with the original, because it was like, oh my God, Star Wars is coming back, and every saga has a beginning, and then the older you get, the more you realize that, like, holy shit, the movie's really bad, right? Like it's not that great. But admittedly, I saw that movie a lot, and you were with me, and I can openly say now that I was completely wrong into liking that movie, because that movie is a steaming pile of duty.
Hmm. That's fair.
Which is that's a good segue, because every single Star Wars movie has an incorrect title. Okay,
Okay.
that's the title of this. All right, so in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, it starts the beginning of the saga, right? We meet Anakin Skywalker, but for some reason it's called The Phantom Menace when it should be called The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
It should be.
Now, what happens in Episode 2? In Episode 2, we discover that Palpatine is building a fucking clone army to kill the Jedi, right? And
Right.
they named the movie Attack of the Clones, but it really should be called Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, because technically the Sith are yeah, because it's the start of the Sith basically dismantling the entire Senate and
100%.
taking over the entire Empire by,
Yep.
or not even the Empire, taking over all these galaxies by creating the Empire. So,
Right.
yeah.
Hey, check it out. It gets even better. It's pretty sick. So what happens in Episode 3? Palpatine carries out Order 66, right? And the Clone Wars begins. Now,
Yes.
it's called Revenge of the Sith when it should be called Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Because this is the first time that they attack the Jedi.
100%. Right.
Yeah.
So now we have Attack of the Clones. Now, what happens in Episode 4? In Episode 4, Luke is trained by Obi-Wan, right? A New Hope. And they're working to bring the Jedi back, right? They're looking to bring the Jedi back. So the movie's called A New Hope, when in actuality it should be called Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. All of it makes sense so far.
It totally does. And it was a pretty brilliant video. So in Episode 5, we meet fucking Yoda, right? And Yoda's training Luke in the ways of the Force, and you know, he's growing stronger, and he realizes that he's got this destiny ahead of him. And they called it Empire Strikes Back, when it should be called The Force Awakens.
Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense.
I like that one.
That can work. I can do A New Hope as well, but I guess you're probably saving A New Hope for Force Awakens.
Yeah, for sure. And this is where, like, I'm like, this one really, I was like, wow, that's good. So what happens in Episode 6, right? Well, a lot happened, I guess, but, like, you know, Yoda and Vader fucking die, right? And which makes Luke what?
Jedi Master.
The Last Jedi.
Oh, the Last Jedi. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's not Return of the Jedi, it's literally The Last Jedi.
yeah.
And then in Episode 7, the previous empire is completely destroyed, right? Palpatine is destroyed, and we're introduced to the First Order, right? And the movie is called The Force Awakens, when in actuality it should be called The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, yeah.
And it's so, like, obvious too, which is, like, hilarious. But all right, in Episode 8, okay, Luke trains Rey and ends up sacrificing himself for the Resistance to give them hope, right?
That's
And
A New Hope.
yeah, and they called it The Last Jedi when it should be called A New Hope. And
It's not
then
even a
finally,
Jedi.
we had Episode 9, where Palpatine returns like the goddamn boogeyman to rebuild the Empire. Okay, Rise of Skywalker? No, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
The fans plot hole.
Which is pretty interesting, man. When
That's
you
the worst
really
one.
think about it, it's pretty smart. But
Yeah.
I can't take credit for the video, because the person did the video. I was intrigued by it, and I wanted to bring it across to you on the podcast, because I felt like it would just be really good material.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, and to be honest, it's pretty smart. I don't give a flying shit about what they're doing with Rey's character in the new one.
Oh, that one will be a television series, so you can expect the same quality from Obi-Wan and what's the other one, Boba Fett, because this one's going to be managed by the Kathleen Kennedy group. So
Yeah, which means it's going to be
Obi-Wan was
hot
managed by the
feminist
Kathleen
garbage.
Kennedy group, which is, again, I know for you personally, Star Wars is Star Wars no matter who's running it, but you know, for me, like Ahsoka and Mandalorian are Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau's babies. Ahsoka, the series, is going to be strictly Dave Filoni, so I have more faith in that.
Filoni baloney.
Yeah, but I get it. I get people having the fatigue because, people have gotten the fatigue even in Mando season 3. Even though I actually enjoyed Mando season 3, I think it ended exactly like a Star Wars movie should end, where the characters have finally defeated the bad guy and they're resting and they're out in the frontier. But again, people have the fatigue because the ratings have dropped. So
I would love to talk shit on it, but to be honest, I'm not that guy, right? I can't talk shit
it
on a season
doesn't
that I
matter.
didn't watch.
I mean, I didn't make the show, so I don't care. Like, I mean, there's plenty of shows. I've sat through and watched people destroy Evil Dead 2, and have kept
Yeah,
my
I love
mouth
that
shut
movie.
on it because I mean, and because it's people's opinions. I have the weirdest of opinions. So for me, I like Revenge of the Sith. So there you go.
Yeah, that the movie's fucking boring, man. See,
Oh,
my argument is like that lightsaber scene was so cringe. I mean,
you
not to
see
keep
the
harping on Star Wars, but let's go back to Mandalorian for a moment because
yeah.
Mandalorian is interesting. It's because I admittedly will say that I enjoy pretty much any Star Wars stuff that's going to be fanfare. That's all I expect at this point from Star Wars. I don't expect them to break any new ground. I don't expect them to kind of like introduce something that I'm going to be interested in. What I do expect is fanfare. That's why I like all the offshoots, man. I really do. I liked Rogue One. Solo I never got a chance to see it, admittedly, but
You seen
um,
Solo at all?
no, I didn't
You
see
know, it
Solo
had
yet.
it's a movie that when you look at it, you'll say it had potential, and it seems like the executive stepped in
Yeah.
and fucked it all up.
Of course, that's what they do best. And to be honest though, like I don't it's the new shit that I really have a problem with. I don't it's all the offshoot stuff is great. Like even Mando, the first 2 seasons were fine. The third season, I remember I actually a few weeks back whether or not like what your
Yeah,
opinion
you
was.
told me you didn't like it.
Well, I no,
Oh,
this
you
season I
didn't
didn't
like
see.
it.
This the end of the second season I didn't like.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it was a little bit of an emotional moment, I guess, but then like I did read spoiler that spoilers ahead if anybody's listening. So we have a few watchers here. So like um if you haven't seen Mandalorian, just put earmuffs, man. Just earmuffs your ears. Like the whole thing about like Grogu like coming back and like being pointless for Luke taking him away. Now, with that said, I don't really give a shit about that. What I do care about is fanfare. Like and your critique on it was what I expected, meaning like it was just fucking Star Wars. It was just a bunch of
It's
space battles. It was just a bunch of that. So there was no like they weren't breaking new ground, and they didn't really have to. Where it was just like a clean Star Wars film. Now it didn't really go anywhere, is what I heard. But to be honest with you, like I don't expect anything like that to come from a Star Wars franchise anymore. Now Ahsoka, whatever, I'm not really sure what to expect from that.
I don't think you're gonna like it. I
I don't know.
don't think that you're into the combat part of the Star Wars as much as I am, because
No, I'm not.
admittedly, I'm a lightsaber guy. Like you put them stupid fucking CGI lightsabers in front of me, and I
Yeah.
love them because I love lightsabers. That's just I'm shallow that way with Star Wars. Like I don't want Andor. I want fucking Mando. I want action. I want a western. I want
See, and that's
lightsabers.
the one that I want to
Yeah.
watch. I'm rewatching Barry, by the way, and
Oh, okay.
because I
That's a good
totally
one. That's a
forgot
good show.
like about what happened over the last few years because it's been a while
Mm.
since the show's been on.
A
But yeah,
2-year hiatus, right?
what's that? Yeah, it was on hiatus for a
I think it
while.
went to two years. I think it was on hiatus
Yeah,
for two
dude, so
years.
long that I totally fucking forgot like what had happened.
I don't
Um,
remember.
yeah, but I want to watch Andor now. If you think I'm cynical, my wife is like the most cynical person right now that I think I've ever seen. So like, there's times where I'm like, that was all right, and she'd be like, really, and I'm like, oh man, like here we go. Like she's very cynical, but for good reason because like she has it worse than me. She's just tired of the same shit over and over again. My issue with the movies and Kathleen Kennedy and even Filoni and all these guys is like they're not advancing stories forward with intention of keeping people's characters intact and doing it for good reason. A good example would be
Well,
Finn.
Filoni is.
Yeah,
He's
Filoni's
completely.
trying.
Filoni's fleshing out the entire storyline of how the First Order
Isn't
came
he
to
like a
be, which
mega
is
feminist though?
no.
I thought
He's
he was a
just
mega
he's
feminist. Never mind.
No, he's just lore hungry. So like the entire third season
Yeah.
sets up the origin story of the First Order. Now, it's divisive because
Yeah.
there's some people who just don't want anything to do with the new trilogy. And
Right.
to those people I say it exists and they're going to use it as part of the lore because it exists. They're not going to erase it, they're not going to retcon it. You got to be realistic.
Yeah.
They
Why
already
would they?
spent the money. They already I mean, as shitty as the lore is that they created for that era,
Yeah.
they created it. Now you got Dave Filoni. He's basically going back and filling in all the gaps which the movie should have did, which is why people hate it. And that's why I get it. That's why I totally understand that people don't want the origins of the First Order in Mandalorian because they hate that trilogy of Star Wars, but it's going to happen because
I
they
had a
have to flesh
theory
out.
that that's where it was all going in
Yeah,
Mandalorian.
and
Now,
Ahsoka will be the same way.
yeah.
Ahsoka will most likely explain to you where these Jedi's that Luke trained came from,
Right.
probably explain where they went after the Jedi Temple or whatever was destroyed.
Are we talking
So
about the
you'll
gray
start
Jedi,
to
or are we talking about just
no, no, we're
Jedi in
talking about the
general?
just the Jedi that Luke trained
I was gonna say because they fucked that story up with
before
the gray
he
Jedi. Yeah.
decided
Yeah.
to completely change his character and became a guy who was going to
Yeah.
strike down his own fucking nephew. This is a guy who abandoned his training with Yoda to go save his friends, even though he knew that abandoning the training will get him killed.
Right.
But I'm supposed to believe that he's going to kill his nephew because he saw a vision that perhaps he was going to turn to the dark side.
Yep. Yeah. You're
And
supposed to
this
believe
is
that.
yeah, that's a big problem
Yeah.
there.
You're
But
supposed to
my
believe that because we're all dumb consumers and Disney fucking just wants us to believe that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Consume it.
My point is for people who haven't watched the third season of Mandalorian and who absolutely hate the new trilogy. Unfortunately, the origins of what events occurred to get to the new trilogy
Right.
are seeping into Mandalorian, and it's not done haphazardly. It's not like it doesn't feel shoehorned in the sense that like it's out of place, but it does feel like it's inserted in there to start to explain how the First Order came to be, even though the rebels won and
I
everybody was
actually,
happy.
to be fair though, I don't really have a problem with the First Order. I think like in the Force Awakens and the way that
I do.
the First Order was kind of like represented was pretty cool, right? It's when it was in the Last Jedi when things got kind of like out of hand and ridiculous, and like the way that
I
they were
mean,
kind of
yeah.
yeah, like Ryan
I
Johnson
mean,
fucked
look,
that series up
yeah. For
hands
me,
down.
like you can, I think the Last Jedi um was like the step that really tripped everyone up.
It was a
But
piece of shit.
I mean, yeah. But you could look at what was the name of the last movie? I can't remember.
Rise of
Jesus Christ!
Skywalker,
It's Rise of Skywalker. I'm getting buzzed already, by the way.
Rise
Um,
Rise of
so
Rise of Skywalker.
yeah, so I know you want to say something. So Rise of
I
Skywalker.
don't. I mean, I don't really know what to say other than the fact that I don't really remember much of it. There was,
Well,
I mean, dude, the Goblin fucking
I think
Palpatine. It was so fucking weird, man.
I I think the only thing that you need to remember from Rise of Skywalker is that there is a line in the movie where Poe says, "Somehow Palpatine has returned." And that is a big fucking problem for a movie to say something like that.
Oh, for sure.
Like
That's bad
like
exposition and bad writing.
it's almost like the characters like, look, the writers are telling me that somehow Palpatine has returned, and as stupid as it fucking sounds, I have to say it as a character. But
I
that line right there, that line
because it
is
doesn't
the
matter. Because you know
core of the
why?
problem. Yeah.
Fucking because Disney looks at their audience as a bunch of mindless automatons that just will consume their product no matter what. And if you ever needed
Yeah.
a more perfect example was on May 4th where they have this Star Wars celebration at Disney World, and you have hundreds of people in the park holding up their fucking lightsabers like a bunch of fucking, it was like just committing to their virginity, that like it's like here it is, and they're all so like, I if you would have caught me like maybe like 10 years ago, I would have been like, that's
If
fucking
you were
awesome.
in your 20s, you'd go. If
Yeah,
you,
I
you were in
probably
your
would.
20s, you'd go. I
But
think
I couldn't
I,
help
I
but just
think
be bitter about it because I'm like, yo, man, they don't care. They're just like, consume our products. We the quality is just not there. Not saying that the
I think
original
that's
trilogy didn't have any flaws. It absolutely did. But it was made at a time when the actual filmmaker gave a fuck about what he was making.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it was they were made with care, and people hate Return of the Jedi, and I get it because Return of the Jedi feels like a marketing ploy. It feels like a fucking movie to sell toys, but it had
Sell teddy bears.
special moments. Yeah, but it had special moments.
I don't mind it as much.
I
Some
mean, a
people
lot
think
of
of like,
special
oh, so
moments.
the Empire got overthrown by a bunch of teddy bears. And it's like, well, I never really
You got to
saw it that
suspend
way.
disbelief. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, when the Empire arrived in The Empire Strikes Back on the planet Hoth, they should have just fucking blasted them from space, even though they were like, oh, the shield generators protected them. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, they
No,
should have
you're right.
they should have dropped like 20 ATTs right next to the power plant, and then boom, 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 and that's it. Just
Yeah.
fucking blast that place in space. But hey, you got to suspend a little bit of disbelief. But
It's like Lord of the Rings,
original trilogy.
you know, where
It
like
is
Gandalf is like, fly, you
Eagles.
fools. Right? And it's like, no, we're just gonna walk for fucking 3 movies.
Yeah.
Now I
When they
love
could have just
I
asked the
still have
Eagles
love
for
for
help.
I love those movies, man. I haven't seen them in a while. I have like all the director's cuts and shit. They're long as hell. It's like 4 hours long, like each movie.
But
But
they were emotional. Like
yeah,
even though a lot of the characters are talking bullshit and they're saying made up words and stuff like that, there was acting. Like um you remembered the character from the first Lord of the Rings, Sean Bean. He
mm,
was a character who died, and yet he's like one of the most memorable characters in that movie. He's still meme to this day. Like the whole one does not simply walk
yeah,
into whatever. That meme is still used today.
hell yeah,
Um,
for good
yeah,
reason.
it's like
Do you think anybody's gonna meme anything that comes out of the fucking Amazon show?
it
No.
would be no, yeah, it would be negative memes. I've seen the
Yeah.
negative memes where the main actress has this face that's like, "Ugh," and she looks absolutely ridiculous. But that show, I only watched 2 episodes, and then after that, it
Did you
it went off the
did you like what
rails.
you see?
No, I just lost interest. It
Did
was a
you
show that
so you didn't like it at all?
I wouldn't say that I didn't like it at all. It's just that it wasn't interesting enough to continue. It
Did you
wasn't
finish Willow?
horrible. No, I didn't. I watched 3 episodes, and that was
You
it.
might as well just sink that thing down into the fucking Laurentian abyss because
I
cancel.
probably
You're
won't finish
wasting your
it.
time.
Yeah, I got canceled, and I probably won't finish it. And my main problem with Willow is that, um, what's his name? Warwick Davis. His acting was
Yeah, you mentioned that.
horrible. Yeah, and I think I mentioned that to you, but I seriously think it's a medical issue
Like
because he
yeah,
just seemed like he was really off.
like you said he looked like he was like sick.
It seems like he had a stroke,
Damn,
and that's
dude.
why he just couldn't remember his lines and stuff. And I
How
don't
old is
know if he
Warwick
had a.
Davis now though? He's got to be
He's pretty
pretty.
old.
He's got to be right. Like
He's got to be pretty old. He's
let me
got to be
do
in his
let me
50s
do the
at
old
least.
googs real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to be what 60 maybe.
Yeah. I watched him in a couple of things. I watched him in
You were
Life is
so
Short.
fucking excited for that, man. You were like, "Oh, I can't wait. That's such a good
Yeah,
universe."
I was really excited for it because I wanted it to continue the story from where it left off. I wanted it to talk about the old characters. It was a proper sequel. It wasn't a remake, it wasn't a reboot, it was a proper sequel, and I'm okay with proper sequels. It just wasn't a good one. That's the truth of it. It was a proper sequel, which is okay with me. It was from a franchise a long time ago, which is fine. They couldn't get all the actors like Val Kilmer for obvious reasons, but they
Yeah.
did get as many of the older actors as they could. But in the end, it just wasn't a good show. That's it. It
How come
just
I
wasn't
can't
a good show.
fucking
And that's
find
why
his
you gotta
age?
you have to get yourself emotionally detached from these franchises. I emotionally detach myself from Star Wars and from Lord of the Rings and and from Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Now when I look at them, I just look at them
Just look at him as
and
content
entertainment.
because
It's
that's all
just
it
art and
is.
entertainment. It could be good,
Shameless
it could be
content.
bad.
It's what it's all become. Consume.
here's let me play devil's advocate and say this. If the people didn't want it, then the companies wouldn't put it out because they wouldn't make money. Because ultimately, all these movie studios are about making money. If something doesn't make them money, they just won't put it out. So you have a
Well,
lot of
you're
times
right.
where
I do, I agree, but I think that like we're finally seeing the crossing of the Rubicon, right? Where like,
well,
holy shit, Disney is finally admitting that putting out schlock, Marvel, same thing, putting out schlock and just shit that is not of quality that we come to expect from either Marvel or Lucasfilm, is people aren't gonna go see it and they're gonna lose money. And like that's where
well,
we're at. So it's like they need to kind of like rethink everything.
well, that's an interesting point that you bring up. And again, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say this: if there is superhero fatigue, why is Guardians of the Galaxy doing so well?
I That's a good point, and I think it's because everybody's like me. And what I mean is like I love Guardians. Guardians is probably my favorite Marvel movie. Um, and I'm like, yo, fuck Marvel movies, but I want to go see that. And I
Yeah,
think that that's what it is. It's a
and I
quality
think
bar that they've come to expect.
and there you go. You hit the nail on the head. And that's what
Yeah.
I was trying to get to is that our standard of quality for superhero movies has gone up, which is a good thing. That means that a majority of the crowd, they see these subpar superhero movies and they're like, fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that.
Fucking Ant Man,
And
Shazam
and
2.
exactly Ant-Man, Shazam 2, Black Adam.
Oh,
These are
dude,
movies that were
don't forget, what's her name? Fucking Black Widow. Sorry.
oh, Black Widow as well. I
Yeah.
mean, even the Captain Marvel movies. I haven't watched the trailer for the new Captain Marvel movies, but everybody has panned them. Everyone has panned that trailer, and the reason why is that we have, in a sense, become what's that word when you're tired of it? The fatigue. We have become
Yeah.
fatigued for
Total
superhero movies,
fatigue.
but not 100% fatigued. We're fatigued with mediocre superhero movies. If you want to put out a superhero movie, fine. It's got to be good quality.
Well,
And I
we,
and I,
we talked
and
about
I
that
think
last
that's what we're
week.
in.
Is I agree. It's like not like Ari Aster can't make fucking Hereditary every single movie he makes, right?
Mhm.
So like there you come out swinging, especially with Iron Man, the Avengers, and we'll get to more about that in a second. But you put out these high quality bars, and that's what people are going to come to expect. And when you stop delivering on that, you start pumping out bullshit. It's the stink is going to be all over it, and people are going to stop go see it, man.
And that's good. And that's good. As a consumer, as consumers, because look,
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that, you want to take the majority of consumers who see those movies and you just want to strangle them because you're like, why are you going to see this? I was just watching Phil Mel. Can you excuse me for a minute? I was just watching Phil Mento's new video on the movie with Anna Anna de Armas and Chris Evans. What's the name of that movie? It's the one where they're dating, or she's a spy and he's a regular person, and they date, and he finds
Um,
out that she's a spy, or shit, I
fucking
can't remember the name of it. It's a
Ghosted,
brand new movie, Ghosted. There you go. So Ghosted is this new movie. It's from Apple. It's an Apple original movie,
right?
and Phil Mento put it perfectly. He said that it's a consumer-driven movie. It's worse than Red Notice. Do you remember Red Notice on Netflix with Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne
I
Johnson
did not
and
see that.
Wonder Woman? It's it's a junk food movie, and that movie was still better than Ghosted. And the reason why is because the movie just is bare bones minimum, like minimum plot, minimum motivation for the characters, minimum character development. The characters themselves don't have any chemistry, they're not likable.
Right.
And 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 his point of the video is that even with all that horrible stuff about the movie, it's the highest rated movie on Apple.
And is that because everything on Apple is garbage?
It's because it's what he said is because excuse me for a second. I gotta take a drink. I got a cough in my back.
No, it's fine. Let's fucking put it in. That's great.
No, so the reason that he says is that because people put these movies on in the background. They're background movies. They're movies that you put on, and while the movie's playing, you're looking at your phone, you're looking at your messages.
See
Maybe
now,
you're playing a
I'm
game
dude.
on
I'm
your
gonna be
phone.
honest with you, man. That ain't me, right? If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching a fucking movie. Like I do not put something on and then not pay attention to it and be on my phone. I'm not that
I've
guy.
caught myself. I've caught myself as
Yeah,
someone
I
who's
never
old
do that.
school. I've caught myself doing it.
I never do
But
that.
my
Yeah.
point, is that when consumers or us, the people, when we do stuff like that, Apple doesn't know that we're just putting that stupid movie on in the background and we're not really paying attention and it's not a great movie. It's just a mediocre movie, but
Right.
it's background noise. Apple doesn't know that. All that they see is that the movie did extremely well with viewers, and that's the problem. Now they're going to make more.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there's other
and
like
that's
KPI and
filmmakers'
metrics
glory.
that go into it, but you're right. Like people are gonna. It's like putting on Fox News or CNN in an
Exactly.
airport. You know what I
It's
mean?
it's
Where
it's on.
yeah,
The
yeah,
box doesn't count where it's at. It just
right,
counts that it's on.
right.
And it's the same thing with Apple. Apple doesn't care that nobody's physically watching it. All they care about is that you hit the play button and you let it play all the way through to the end.
Yep.
That's all they care about.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it, and,
To
and
be honest, it's my issue that I have with subscription based models now is
mm,
that we're gonna have more of that, more of that
but
mediocrity, more of that.
I
You
think those
know,
are dying.
I hope so.
You sent me a message and you told me that Disney lost what was it, 500 million or was
No,
it
no,
5 billion?
4 million subscribers.
4 million subscribers. Sorry.
Yeah, in quarter
So
two.
they're not the only ones.
No,
Netflix,
yeah,
HBO Max, every single streaming service is losing customers because the model
yeah.
is untenable. So I think in the next 2 years we're going to see a different model, and what I think we're going to see is we're going to see commercial based models.
Oof.
Like no matter what, they're just going to have commercials in between the movies and in between the TV shows.
I, for
And if
one,
anything,
hope that maybe the resurgence of the box office would help this because I'm all for. I don't want to go
only a
to a
little,
theater. I really don't want to go to a
only a
theater.
little.
But I feel like with the subscription models, especially, that it's like you have to structure it in a way where throughout the year you have heavy hitters that are dropping to make sure that your subscriber count continues, because the moment that, like, let's say Stranger Things stops and that's the only thing you watch on Netflix, you're going to cancel your
Hmm.
sub, right? So
Exactly.
it's like it's all
Exactly.
about like figuring that strategy of like how to keep people hooked. And I have a feeling that they're going to find a way of doing it through this AI driven mediocrity that we're headed towards, where they're going to be
But yeah,
creating schlock and
we are
like
getting in that. But
it's bad.
here's my theory of what's going to happen with streaming service. It's going to go free to play.
Hmm.
You see how like games, there was a time, maybe 10 years ago, where there wasn't as many free to play games. Now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know why? Because free to play makes more money than just charging someone upfront for the game.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah,
I think
monetization.
that's when this is going to happen to streaming services. It's just going to be you can go into streaming service for free, and when you watch a movie or a TV show, there's just going to be 4 minutes of ads for every 8 minutes of showtime,
If we can't move away from
and
the
people will
ad
do it.
model, I'm gonna fucking rage the fuck out. Like,
Yeah. But I think people. Let's just say this. Let's say every streaming service platform right now
right,
just became free, and all you have to do is watch ads. Like you can't use an ad blocker. Like if you try to use an ad blocker, it says no, you got to turn it off.
right.
So it's mandatory that you got to watch the ads. You personally, do you think that a majority of people will suck up the ads and watch it because it's
Yeah,
free? You don't have to sign up. You don't have to put in your credit card. You just watch it. You just got to suffer through the ads.
for
Do
sure.
you think the majority of people watch it? I see. That's why I
I think
think
they would, but like the
that's what's
ends
going
have
to
to
happen.
justify the means. I mean, like right now, like if Netflix, because we can't see the internal metrics of like how much money. Like if me and you were to make a movie and we pitch it to Netflix, and Netflix is like, cool, we're gonna buy it. The way that that model
Mhm.
works is like, it's not percentage based. It's like, we're gonna give you like $400,000 for this movie, and we're gonna put it up on our streaming platform, and that's the end of it, right? There's not really
Yeah.
any monetization that goes past that. Now it may change in the future, but like something with like a box office, when you're pitching it to a studio and you're trying to get a movie made or a game, it doesn't matter, same thing. There's merchandising, there's other things that are involved in terms of like monetization, right? So like, if Netflix or any of these, Disney Plus or any of these other streaming services, can make a show or a movie that is basically, they'll make more money with their ad revenue, then they'll do that. If they
Yeah.
won't, then they won't take the chance. And
See,
it's scary, because it's like, yeah, I feel like there's a way that they could definitely monetize it with ads, and that would be my fucking hellish landscape nightmare.
they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's the current model is failing across the board, not just Disney. Disney, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, they're all losing money right
Yeah.
now with the current model. So that's gone. Like, you can't expect them to continue this current model.
I
So I
actually
think
think
that
that's gonna go the way of, it's so
mod
fucking fucked up, but like the way that I feel like it is, it's like, all right, so you have cord cutting, right? You have your cable TV that people are like, why am I paying $200 a month for cable when I could just, get Netflix, get a couple of these streaming services, and save a bunch of money? I feel like they're just, the conglomerates are just gonna resurface again, buy up the properties of all of these, and then just issue like a monthly service of like $40. Like, you know how, like, you ever see like Sling and all those other ones?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
see.
include the Netflix and all this other shit too.
I think those would do okay, but I truly think that we're going to go into a pay a free to play, which means it's just like free to play, where it's free to play, but you're getting some type of advertising where
Yeah.
they make their money back, and then what'll happen is that that the advertisers pay is dependent on the movie or dependent on the number of views. So
Mm.
let's say the movie Wednesday on Netflix, or I'm sorry, not the movie Wednesday, the series Netflix on Wednesday, or the series Wednesday on Netflix. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So so that series would charge a lot more for advertisers than, let's say, I don't know, give me a series on, oh, okay, so then let's say then the Velma series on HBO. You
Right.
see what I mean? Like, the quality of the show will now dictate how much the advertisers pay for the ads.
It
And
should
I
go
think
by
that's going
advertising
to
type
be
though, because you can't ostracize a particular brand just because you feel that it's subpar, right? You have to give everybody an even playing field when it comes to advertising. So
see, I think it's
the
not going to work
cost
that way.
should,
I think
should be relative to, it should be equal across the board. It just depends on the type of ad.
See, for me, I think it's going to work kind of like the Super Bowl. Like, during the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
those ads that are played during the Super Bowl are premium ads, which means that the advertisers pay a ridiculous amount of money because they know they have a guaranteed
Yeah.
audience of a certain amount of people. And I think that's what's going to happen with movies is a movie from Martin Scorsese or a movie from Mike Flanagan or a television series by those two phenomenal directors,
Right.
advertisers are going to pay a premium price to put their ads on that movie.
It makes sense. I
And
mean,
that's
look,
what we
look. There's a difference between Joe Rogan doing a MeUndies spot and like Tell 'em Steve Dave,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Like, you
there's a
wouldn't
huge
see
difference.
Yeah, like you wouldn't see Joe Rogan, or you wouldn't see a Manscaped episode or a Manscaped commercial on a Joe Rogan show because he charges a lot for his advertising and they can't afford it. But
Yeah.
you would probably see something from some luxury company or a bigger company like Apple or something like that. And I think I truly think that that's where we're going, which I don't know if it's better or worse. I
It's
can't
fucking
tell you.
100,000% worse. What are you talking about, man?
It's worse, but they'll still give you the option that if you want to pay a premium price, you can watch the movies and shows without any
Which
commercials. But
100%
when
I
I
would
mean,
fucking do. It's like the old fucking Hulu subscription.
but when I mean premium price, I mean like $20 a month premium
I'm
price.
fucking fine with that, so long as I don't have to see any of your fucking shit ads. And like it's just like with Hulu, man. Do you remember they had like, oh well, for fucking
That's right.
$9.99 you get Hulu, and then for $11.99 you get Hulu with no commercials. I'm like, oh fucking $2 here, give me no commercials. What the fuck? I don't
Yep.
want to see that
And
shit. That's why I don't have
and the
television.
commercials for Hulu, I have Hulu with commercials now. I had it and then I didn't have it and I have it again. The reason I
No,
have Hulu with commercials is
can't
because
do
I
it.
got Hulu and Disney Plus for $2 a month for an entire year. So that's why I got it because and full disclosure, the reason I have Disney Plus is because I have families that watch it and they're too stupid to do, you know,
Uh
the
huh.
right way to watch it.
So
So that's
fucking.
the reason why I have it.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like as a society, we're getting stupider and stupider, and we're inching our way to out my balls from mediocrity. And I
Yeah,
think that we will be watching AI generated scripts and movies within the next couple years.
I do.
Um,
I think that.
and I hope the quality bar doesn't suffer from this because we're already there. I mean, you're gonna have your blockbusters. I think it was Scorsese that said like, "Yo, Marvel movies are like they're like the theme parks of
They are.
movies."
They're
Yeah,
they're they're attraction.
for
They're
sure.
like rides. They're like rides on an amusement park.
Yep.
You get an adrenaline rush for a few minutes, and then that's it. It's gone after that.
I'm okay with that for the most part because I don't really go to the movies unless I'm watching something that's of big caliber anyway, or I want to support something a little bit smaller. But there is an interest in terms of where the industry is going. I feel sorry, the writer's strike and all that stuff that's going on now. It's like it's only going to get progressively worse unless
It will
they
for them.
unless they
It will.
start
And
you know
sometimes it's hard to defend them. I think we went through this last week where I
yeah,
said that
we did, yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
little bit hard to defend them sometimes because a lot of the writing that comes in a lot of these shows and movies are
Yeah, it's
subpar.
garbage.
But I want to also say that a lot of times these writers do come up with good ideas, and then there's executive producers and then movie studio executives, and they'll come in and say, "No, we got to do this. We got to add this. We need to change this." And
Holy shit, do you know what I realized? We just went on a huge tirade about streaming and the fucking business model shift, and I forgot to tell you that Warwick Davis was born February 3rd of 1970.
oh my God,
Yeah, I
he's
totally
fucking
forgot. So he's not
50
as old as I
something years
thought
old,
he was.
but he's still pretty old.
He's still pretty old.
I don't want to sound defensive, but do little people have a different lifespan than regular sized people?
I have no
Uh,
idea.
because to be fair, it's not a slight against little people, but because giants have a shorter lifespan than regular people. Andre the Giant, and there's a couple of others. Remember the movie My Giant with Billy Crystal? That's another guy who
Holy
died at an
shit.
early age.
There
He
was
was a
that other
giant.
one.
Remember
I'm
that?
trying to remember what the fuck it was. It was with the Big Show from the WWE,
Hmm.
and he was traveling across the country with a group of people. I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was called.
I don't think I watched that one.
Movie's pretty
My
dang deep.
Giant is the last one that I saw that was about a big person, and they have a short lifespan too. I think it's something to do with their heart, like their hearts usually give out a lot quicker.
Hold on, wait.
So I was just wondering, I
I
was just
think
curious if little people have the same thing.
hold on. Oh, I just switched the screen here. I think we got some chat.
Hmm.
Oh, we do. Oh, all
No,
right. It's Caleb. What up, Caleb? If you're still watching, I didn't realize that we still had chat, and we have my cousin. That's probably my cousin's son. But yeah,
some cousin's son.
yeah, I think so. They were both talking about. It was a Star Wars talk, so I guess like
Oh,
we had them talking.
I
So
missed it. I'm sorry, guys.
all right, so yeah, so Anthony loves the Batman. Says, bro, Palpatine coming back was so stupid.
It was really stupid.
Yeah.
It's not just that, it was really lazy. Like if they brought him back and they had it all fleshed out, it's not that I would be okay with it 100%, but I would accept it.
Yeah. Oh,
But the
Caleb also
movie
brought
was
up the
just
fact that what you mentioned that nobody explained how Palpatine lived. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
pretty
somehow
lazy.
it is the worst line that you could ever say in a movie. It's I would imagine that anybody who has ever worked on a movie, like a real movie, anybody who's written for a movie, anybody who's directed a movie saw that and saw that line and immediately was like, because it's awful.
That's worse than
It's
having
just
like
the
a
most awful
MacGuffin
thing.
device, right? Like
It
so with
really
the
is.
Transformers
It's
and shit.
worse than a MacGuffin. I could not have said that better myself. It's
Yeah,
worse than a MacGuffin.
it really is.
Worse.
Like, look at the new Transformers. I can't wait to see that shit, by the way. I don't care what our viewers say. Like, I want to go see the new Transformers Rise of the Beast because
It's
you know
fun.
what?
It's
Transformers
popcorn.
knows what it is. And it's pure schlock, and I want to go see it and eat popcorn. But apparently the cube doesn't matter anymore, according to
Oh,
some lore.
really?
Right? So they
I forgot the name
retconned.
of it.
Yeah, they retconned it, and it
Oh,
no,
did they?
yeah, the cube no longer like life begins with the cube, right?
I
Like,
forgot the name of it. What was it called? Like, I can't remember
no, it
now.
was called the fucking cube.
The Allspark.
Oh, the Allspark. That's right.
Yes,
I just
I
called it the
remember.
cube, right? Because
The
then there was also
Allspark.
the other MacGuffin too in the Marvel universe, right? So like,
That's right. Well, the Infinity Stones were the biggest MacGuffin of them all.
yeah, but didn't they have a cube as well?
They did, but it was one of the Infinity Stones.
Oh, right.
It
Yeah.
was inside the cube, yeah. But it was a MacGuffin. They're all MacGuffins.
Yeah.
At least they used their MacGuffins properly up until
Oh, for sure.
Infinity War and Endgame, and then after Endgame, they're stretching it, and that's why people have the fatigue. And to be fair to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Hmm.
James Gunn made that franchise his. It's unique because it's his, because he cares about the characters. He had an end
For
game
sure.
in mind. His scripts are tight. Like his movies are all about family, and they stay that way. And I think that's why his movies do so much better. He actually puts care into his movies. And when he makes his movies, he's not making them based around the universe, which is
I
what I felt like.
I fucking 100% agree. And you know what's really funny, dude?
Yeah.
I find myself like there's a little bit of like ice being chipped off of my shoulder, like when I see the Flash trailer, right? Like when I watched the Flash trailer, like a part of me was like resurrecting, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I like this, right? And then I'm like, there's the other
You
part of
know,
me that's like,
you know
no,
what?
you don't, no, you don't like this because like you're just, and I'm like, no, I think I'm gonna like this because James Gunn is actually gonna do justice in the DCEU, because let's be honest. Look, the Marvel universe is focused around Tony Stark and Spider-Man, right?
Mhm.
And the moment you take both of those out, especially now that Iron Man is dead, Marvel's in big trouble. Especially
Yeah.
with Captain America as well, right?
Yeah.
And with DCEU, I feel the same way. It's like the entire universe is built. Oh, sure, I guess you could say the Justice League, but let's be real, it's Batman, right?
It's Batman.
And Superman,
He's been the
Superman, right?
but and Batman more to the point. Batman more than anyone, because he's the one that most humans relate
sure.
to.
Oh, 100%. And that's I think like the moment that you start fucking with either one of those properties, you're going to have a big problem, right? And that's okay, look. I liked Joker, okay? I thought Joker was very entertaining. I thought it was an interesting spin. I thought that Joaquin Phoenix or whatever did a great job. I thought it was cool. Am I going to like the next one? Fuck no, I'm not. And I could already tell you that I'm not, because I'm not a fan of musicals. The only musical that I really enjoy, like what was that? I told you I shut off that Ryan Reynolds fucking holiday movie within like 10 minutes because I realized it was a fucking musical. The first one rolled right off me, dude. The first one rolled right off me, and I was like, all right, cool. Maybe it was just like an opening song or whatever. And the second song came on, man, and I looked at my wife. My wife was like, you want to turn this off? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Right? I didn't want anything to do with it. I know I'm going to feel the same way about this, and I don't care if it's Lady Gaga or not. I give no shits. I think that they're going to they're fucking with something that worked again. And I know it's supposed to be artsy and it's supposed to be different, but now we're dealing with a DCEU that has multiple universes, multiple fucking Batmans, multiple fucking characters, and they need somebody like James Gunn to come in there and clean house like the Bobs in fucking Office Space, man.
Yeah. Well,
And
the problem is that
he's the
first
man to
Joker
do it.
really well. This is the problem. Like when consumers go, we keep going right back to Phil Mento's new video about Ghosted, where
Hey,
we
Ferment Imposter, thank you for the follow, bro.
oh, cool. We go back to movies that we put on, and then we're on our phones while the movie's playing.
Yeah.
And these movie studios, they don't know that. They don't know that we're bored and we just left the movie on and we're looking at our phones or we're doing something else, we're working or
Right.
whatever. They don't know that. All that they see is that we watched it. And
Well, I mean, the
it's
reviews count too, man. Like, let's not talk about like just Metacritic and all that other shit. Right now, when I was in the games industry, man, one of the biggest things they would do is throw stuff into contracts. They would be like, cool, cool, cool. So you're gonna work on this, and you'll get bonused, and your team will get bonused if it gets better than like an 80 score on Metacritic. Right?
okay.
That used to be a fucking thing, right? And then things would get review bombed for whatever reason and things like that. So people were losing out on money, and studios were losing out on money, and executives were losing out on money, and it became like a big fucking no-no, right? So now it's like nobody's bonus based upon Metacritic score because you can't trust any online score that you see anymore. And now it's solely like, hey man, if you get review bombed, like that's almost like, hey, somebody's trying to tell you something, and now they're starting to remove those online. Like I read the other day, I can't remember, there was a bunch of trans activists, and I can't remember exactly what the scenario was, but they got really upset about something. I don't know. I'm gonna say it was a show or something. My wife was talking to me about it, and they started removing comments that were being made, and it's like, whoa, you know, I understand review bombing is kind of childish in some ways, but it's also like, if somebody honestly, how could you discern whether or not somebody honestly feels that way or not? And how could you like quantify or put a quality stamp on whether or not you feel that their review is meets a quality standard? Right now we're starting to QA and quality assurance and test comments now, and if they don't meet a certain threshold, like we're deleting them, or if they're negative, we're deleting them. It's a fucked up situation. So
Well,
like I feel like that's where we're headed too, man. It's like Netflix got rid of their fucking rating system. I used to love it.
yeah. Well, look, we got rid of YouTube. Got rid of their dislikes. They didn't get rid of the dislikes for small
exactly.
They got rid of it for the big.
They don't want anybody to know that fucking Lord of the Rings on Amazon got ratioed into oblivion.
Or Captain Marvel or the Ghostbusters movie or anything like that. They don't want anybody to know that it's overtly negative, like overwhelmingly negative.
Sure. And it's like Captain Marvel's a really good. You know why I fucking hated Captain Marvel, dude? And I'll be honest, Captain Marvel. Okay, Brie Larson, whatever. Take her. I don't give a shit. She's just a Hollywood actress. But I hated Captain Marvel because it was actually stupid and bad, right? Like I don't like the fact that. Yeah, I don't like. Okay, so Nick Fury lost his eye to a fucking cat,
which is stupid.
Right? Like that's dumb. I don't care if she's a strong female character. I don't care if I don't care that controversy is irrelevant to the quality of the product.
Well, if people cared that the character is female, then why did the Wonder Woman movie do so well?
Right.
There you go.
Why?
There you go.
Why? And they can't answer that because in the moment that you start questioning that and putting that inside of a fucking meta thread, you're done, right? They're gonna delete your shit. Because they need that in order to survive. Well, nobody could just look at it and say, "Wow, this movie bombed because it sucks."
I would say that it's hard. It's hard to do two things. It's hard to critique movies with women as the lead, and it's hard to critique movies with minorities because the reaction from these people when you tell them that their movies are bad,
right?
They're going to tell you that you're either being sexist or racist.
Right. And nobody wants to have that. Nobody wants that.
Well, see, it creates like a number of factors. Number one, it creates resentment. Resentment for people who are like, look, I'm trying to critique this movie and you're telling me that I'm being racist because I think the movie is bad. Like, fuck you. And then what it does is it gets people to hate either minorities or females because it makes it seem like they're being painted as the bad guy when they just want to critique the movie and say it's a bad movie.
Dude, you see, now I see it as like it's also a way for the fucking studio executives and the production studios to fucking deflect every negative comment like, you know, of their quality bar, man. They get to like swat it away, like Neo in the fucking end of the
But
first Matrix,
it
where he's
hurts the
just fucking.
causes of minorities and females. I hate that because
It is
um
dumb.
it hurts their cause. I think that when actors and directors react that way and say you didn't like the movie because it's an all-female cast, or you didn't like the movie because it had a minority
Yeah, it's
as
kind of like, who
the
the fuck are
lead.
you to tell me why I liked or
Yeah,
disliked something?
that's a cop out.
Yeah,
And of course there's gonna be some people like that that do rate the movie like that because hello, racism exists and we have a world filled with 7 billion people who
sure.
don't all think the same way we do.
I just don't
But
think
my
that some
point
fucking hillbilly from West Virginia is getting onto fucking Metacritic and writing a racist review intentionally because they're racist.
yeah.
I think that a lot of it is like,
But I think
a
it's
lot
out
of it
there.
is
I just think it's
trolling.
I think it's the minority though. You can't
Yeah.
treat that as the majority. You can't treat sexism and you can't treat racism as the majority because it's not. Like and I'm a person who says
Yeah.
that it exists and that it is real and that it does happen. And yet I still am telling you it is a minority. It is not a majority. And when you treat it
Yeah.
as the majority, what you're doing is you're alienating people who genuinely just did not like your movie.
And that's what I
And
think is
then what they
happening to
do
the
is they turn
industry
around and
overall
they
right
just
now.
hate you anyway.
That
Yeah.
pendulum is swinging back to the other side. The studios are realizing that they can't fucking profit off that controversy anymore, and they're losing money. And now they're gonna stop using that as advertising buzz,
Yeah.
and they're gonna go back. I really strongly believe, dude, getting back to Gunn and kind of merging it what we were just talking about. I really, 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 really believe that James Gunn will save the DCEU.
He will.
I don't
He
know.
will, but he could screw up. He's human. Remember that.
But
Remember that
I
he's
don't know,
human.
dude. He gives me hope, man.
But he gives you
I'm
hope.
fucking dead
Exactly.
inside, dude. I'm fucking dead inside. I need a little fucking hope, man. I need to like
You
look
know,
at something and say to myself, like, I actually want to watch this. Flash does that, and like I said, that little light in the back of my
yeah.
head goes off, and I'm like, oh my god, this movie's gonna fucking kick
Well,
ass.
look,
But then the other part of me is going like, well, Ezra Miller's a rapist, and
he's a
like,
piece of shit. He's a piece of
like, you
shit.
know, like I don't
You
want to
just
support
say
the movie.
he's a
Yeah,
piece of human garbage.
yeah,
And
totally
it's
is.
tough because and look, there's a couple of things that I want to say let's say here. Number one, you shouldn't feel guilty for member berries because look, when I saw Michael Keaton and
Yeah,
he says the line, "You want to get nuts, let's get nuts." It's a total member berries.
yeah.
It's a total member berries. But
I'm cool with that.
you gotta admit that when you saw it, you just it puts a smile on your face, especially people like us.
Yeah.
I remember watching Batman in the movie theater.
Oh
I
yeah.
watched it in,
Oh yeah.
by the way, I watched it in the ghetto. I watched it in Newark, New Jersey. So I remember that the movie was about to start. The theater was filled with black people. Like it was 90% black people and 10%, wait, 90% black people, 9% Spanish people, and 1% brave white people. And I remember just before the movie started, this black guy stood up and he was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Dude, that's so funny that you mentioned that, man. Like, dude, I am like, if I'm going to see a movie, and it's funny, this is a good story. It's so crazy you said that. When I go to see a movie, I make sure that I'm like on time, right? I'm like one of those people that's like, okay, gotta make sure, get my seat, get my popcorn, gotta make sure I'm there on time because and my wife is always like, yo, why the fuck are you like, just can you calm down? You know, like why are you so fucking like nervous and hell-bent on making sure that we get there on time and shit? And there's a story to it. Because when I was about 12, maybe 13 years old, my mom dropped me off at Amboy, right? And I can't remember exactly what the fuck I was watching, right? Dropped me off at Amboy. And I was fucking around with my friends. We were playing some arcades and we were having a good time. And I went into the movie. And I went into the movie a little late. And I was like kind of shuffling around a little bit too much. And the movie had fucking started, and dude, some black guy in the back of the theater was like, "Yo, shut the fuck up!" And I was like devastated, man. I was fucking devastated.
I'm not
And
afraid to tell you when you fucking up their movie.
yeah, man, and like, yo, it fucked me up so badly, and I felt so bad about like my behavior that to this day, I am still like very like cautious about walking into a movie. I'm like all quiet if I'm late. I always have to make sure that I'm there before everybody else because I don't want to get fucking called out and shit. But yeah, true story, dude. Same thing happened. Somebody was like, "Shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh, my bad.
remember it. I think I strayed off from, but my point is that I don't think it's wrong to have berries. I don't think you should watch a movie that's all member berries. That's just nothing but
Nah, fuck
Easter
that,
eggs.
dude. That's what Star Wars is for me at this point. Give me the member berries, man. Don't give me anything new. They're creatively bankrupt.
For
They
me,
got nowhere to go.
I'm okay with both, but again, I'm a bit more sympathetic to Star Wars in the sense that I don't have any direct connection to it. I'm not as attached to it as I used to be. I used to be very attached to it. Hell, I've got lightsabers in the other room that are worth like $500, but
Yeah, actually,
uh,
I still have all my lightsabers too. I was gonna give them away as a
oh,
thing.
really? Don't do
Well,
that.
because you
Don't
know what I
do
want
that.
to do, and not just because I'm like, well, fuck Star Wars, get rid of all my swag. Like I love all my swag. We're finally pulling all my stuff out of the boxes and stuff. What I want to do is get the hilt. Right, I'm not really interested in having the thing light up. I can give two shits because they're hard to display. Okay, and you
I
have to
don't have.
like. What I'm interested in is the hilt. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna get rid of like these lightsabers that I have, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna get like some hilt ones, man, just because they're awesome. But it's true. I think James Gunn will do good. I don't think Robert Pattinson. There needs to be fucking multiple Batmans. Okay, I got beef with
They're gonna make
that. I got beef
they're
with it.
already gonna make a second, and it's not connected to James Gunn's
I
universe.
know, but
That's it.
look what they did with fucking Joker, and now they're ruining Joker with that Lady Gaga
Yeah,
stupid bullshit.
it's a cash grab. It's a cash
It
grab.
really is.
I mean, it's maybe it'll be quality. I don't want to be completely negative and say that the movie is not going to be good, but the intention of it is a cash grab.
Did I ever
And
tell
maybe
you? It's so funny. I don't know why my mind strayed to this, but I might as well tell this story anyway. But I was working on this game called 1979, the Iranian Revolution. It's called Black Friday 1979, and I was working on the game for a guy named Naveed Kansari, who was executive over at Rockstar. Right? He had started his own like little his own studio. Okay, called Ink Stories, and it was like one of those Telltale games that we were building, where it branched out and had branching dialogue and stuff like that. And I remember one day he came in. It's so weird that my mind kind of went to this. I don't know why. And the guy would always try to use the fact that he was a minority to kind of like help sell himself and sell his games. And it was like, I get it, man. All right, like I totally understand. But he would come in the studio, and like I was designing one of the main female leads in the game, and I was modeling her, and he would come in and be like, "Hey, man, no, she needs to be hotter, man. Like her, like I want to like when I look at her, man, I want to fuck her." Right, I just want. I'm like, this guy's a total asshole, right? And then he would get into a fucking room in a meeting with my wife and totally like talk down to her, man. Like, I mean, he would be like a total abusive asshole, and we would call it the bangability rating. That was like what we coined it. Like my wife and I, it's like, yo, if a female character is very attractive, her bangability level is very high, right? So like that's it. That's what we got out of it. But yeah, man. And this guy would just go around and like talk like that, treat people like absolute garbage, and then go out into the public sphere and absolutely just pretend like he's the fucking best person on the planet.
the holier than thou.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of
talking about
context.
and you see that a lot, and that's kind of like my big beef is like a lot of the shenanigans that we see in terms of whatever it is, insert fucking ism here, you know what I mean? Like whatever the hot fucking topic is about a film or whatever it is, I would say that 80% of it is generally bullshit, right? It's like it's people just creating controversy, and we've talked about this multitude of times, but like it's people that create controversy to kind of like, well, buzz sells, right? Like if we are pitted against each other, I'm not going to go see this, but I'm going to fucking, the amount of engagement that people see just on trailers and shit alone online just for hate watching and fucking hate commenting and shit like that is insane. Now, look at us. My fucking channel sucks. I can't get anybody to watch us, let alone fuck. So what the fuck? Like, what do I need to do in order, you know what I mean, to sell myself in order that people would find this to be entertaining? And it's like that's the thing that I kind of want to remove. I want to I hate to say this, but I want to go back to the fucking 80s and 90s where nobody gave a shit about the things they were making. Were they politically correct? No, but it was art. And I respected it for the time that it was made. Right now, holy shit, man. This is forever going to be known as like the time of like fucking absolute clown world.
Well, I would say this. I'm pretty, I guess, understanding of every side because I know I annoyed the shit out of you when I usually play devil's advocate. But,
No, man, it's good though. It's
no,
good
but
for perspective.
this is a good segue because there's a new rule
Talking to Mike.
that I.
Oh
sorry.
yeah, your mic.
There's
Yeah,
a new-
pull your mic closer to your mouth, dude.
There's a new rule in the for the Oscars. I think in order to get an Oscar, you have to meet a
I am so
certain
fucking
minimum.
glad you brought this up.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say that, like, as someone who, number one, I do believe that there's racism, sexism, transphobia. I actually believe all of that exists, and I
Sure.
believe it's all out there.
I agree.
These rules that the Academy Awards put out
Yeah,
is a step backwards
I agree.
because movies, as I've said a million times, is art
Yep,
and entertainment.
100%.
And if you censor or if you control art and entertainment, it's not art.
I agree.
You can't put a gun to Pablo Picasso's head and say, "Draw me something," and then call that art.
But see, now
Because
this
it's
is
like, "Oh, Pablo
where
Picasso
that
made it."
it's
No,
the
that's
gray
not
area
what-
that we were talking about, man. It's like advertising and corporate special interests start to get involved, and then all of a sudden the content on these platforms is more geared towards what is advertiser friendly and what they can socially engineer to want to be the norm. Here, actually, hold on. I could actually play this. Actually, let's
Starting in 2024,
Well, before
films
you do,
This is Richard
let
will
me
be
just
Dreyfuss.
required to meet new inclusion
Oh yeah,
standards,
I heard it already.
to be
Actually,
eligible for the
Well,
I
I'm playing
agree
it for
with
our
him.
viewers, bro. Playing
Oh.
it for our viewers, buddy.
Go
Let me,
ahead.
let me move this over.
I agree with him. As someone who still believes that there's sexism, racism,
Sure.
homophobia, all of that. As someone who truly believes that that does exist, it's out there,
Yeah.
it's active today. I still completely agree with Richard Dreyfuss, 100%.
Because I don't think
agree.
that Richard Dreyfuss is being racist when he's saying it.
No,
he's it's coming
saying
from
the
a place of honesty.
art.
Yeah.
It's art.
But people
And-
see
and-
they're that's that fucking that argument of like, yo, there's a difference between hate speech and and speech that you hate.
Exactly.
Right? It's like it's a logical thing, but he's not wrong. I agree. I think he's insanely based for saying it because like in today's society, I feel like it could be pretty dangerous to like speak out like that.
Now,
But he's
now
not
let me
wrong.
just say, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Now, let me just say one extra thing,
Yeah.
which is not really a devil's advocate. It's more along the lines of a silver lining. Here's the silver lining.
Yeah.
These rules will make the Oscars irrelevant,
There already are, yeah, but I agree.
but even more so.
Yeah,
To
100%.
the point where nobody will find the Oscars to be something as the gold standard.
Right.
Maybe something else would be maybe the Emmys or something to that effect, or maybe the British awards are. But my point is that this will further diminish the Academy Awards as something that's supposed to be prestigious, because when you limit the art, when you censor the art, because when you put an amount of minorities and so forth that you have to hire, you're
Right.
censoring the art. The art should just be what it is. Leave
Oh,
it alone.
yeah,
Let the
it's
artist
touchy though.
create.
I agree. But see,
artist
like it's no different than what's happening in corporations and jobs around the world, right? So like I'll give you a good example. Well, I won't say where she works, but my wife works for a place it's very much inclusive, right? So they do a lot of diversity, equity, inclusion. But they are told that, hey, we need to make sure that we hire X amount of Asians. We need to make sure that we hire X amount of African Americans. And it's like there's a quota that they do need to fill, which is okay. But
It's okay.
recently they had a check it out. They had a round of layoffs. This is a true story. And one of my wife's friends lost her job in the round of layoffs because they didn't want to fire the Asian who was here on an H-1S visa.
Yeah.
So,
Which is wrong.
because she would have been sent back.
It
Now,
should be
the other
about
person is clearly, it wasn't as good of a worker in terms of that position, but because they didn't want to send her back, they kept her, and the other person lost her job. That's where I start to draw the line of like, all right, this is getting a little insane, because now we start getting into, I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's not even like, that's not privilege.
Well, it is privilege. It's
guess.
privilege in the sense that you're taking the person with less qualifications and you're putting them ahead of the person with more qualifications because of their ethnicity.
But I'm also not ignorant to the fact that it would be a lot easier for my wife's friend to find a job quickly than it would for the Asian woman who's here on a visa to get a job, right? Like, I do recognize the fact that, yeah, okay, perhaps maybe she was better at her job and got laid off anyway, but like, she does possess the ability to probably find a job quicker. Now,
Probably.
it sucks for her. There's no question, but I'm also not ignorant to the fact that these things exist. When it comes to the Oscars, though, like I start to like fucking lose my mind. Like after I saw The Whale, right, and I'm like, God damn, I'm like Brendan Fraser is amazing, right? I'm like, holy shit, like him in the fat suit was fucking disturbing, and it was gross, and then I'm like on Twitter, and by the way, follow us on Twitter at the Movie Squib, and me, hello REMUX. I am a professional troll. When I see people advocating and mad at at the studios for not hiring a morbidly obese man to play the role, and I'm like, this is like the fucking clown world. It's like there's a threshold that exists, and and everybody can see that threshold and that lining, and the moment that you fucking just step over that shit into like clown world territory, I'm like, I'm out. Right? Like where I'm like, I get it, man. Like, but are you fucking serious right now? Are you seriously advocating that they should have fucking hired a real morbidly obese person to play it? And it's like, it's not, I don't care. You want to change superhero race? I don't care. You want to change sex? I don't care. Right? Just as long as it's quality. But the moment that you start saying like, hey man, the roles of which the character is written to be must inflect.
Yeah, you're demanding.
Yeah,
You're demanding.
it must inflect the actual real life representation. At the end of the day, this is all fictional. So like, it doesn't matter who's playing what. You don't really need a real fat man to play the whale, right? Like that's where we start to get into clown world territory.
Well, let's turn it on its head.
Yeah.
There's a Cleopatra movie that's coming out soon. It's from Jada Pinkett Smith's production company. The person who's playing Cleopatra is a biracial woman. She's
biracial meaning what? Like half African, half white, or
half African, half white.
Okay.
Now, Egypt is actually a part of the continent of Africa, so you could say that an African person could play Cleopatra. But
didn't Cleopatra like fucking? She was a European that came.
Well,
she went to Egypt. She wasn't Egyptian.
I have no idea. But my point is that Egyptians exist, Europeans exist, but she's being played by an African American woman.
Wait, are people upset about this?
Well, there are a few people that are upset about it, mainly the Egyptian government. But
really?
My point is,
shit! Yeah, all right.
But my point is that Jada Pinkett Smith's company and the actress said that they wanted to mix things up because really nobody knows what Cleopatra was.
I'm pretty sure they do. Like I'm pretty sure they know.
I think they said that she could be biracial, but my point is that they don't know whether she is African or Egyptian or whatever. But my point is that they defended themselves. And you'll see people saying, let's get rid of her. She's not Egyptian. I mean, we could turn around and say right now, there's Egyptian people, there's Egyptian actors.
Right.
Why don't we get an Egyptian to play Cleopatra or whatever she's from? Let's say if she was from Europe. Let's say if she was from Spain whatever. Let's get a person right from there. Those countries still exist. There's
100%.
actors in those countries. My point is that um, it should be left to the artist. If the casting is wrong, then let the movie fail on its own. Sit there and argue about the actor or actress. Let it play out. If their casting is awful, the
Yeah.
movie will fail on its own.
That's
I
also
can't
like
say
it's
it's more than
fucking. There's a difference between being historically accurate because you're making a fucking biopic or you're making a documentary or you're trying to be as close to the real thing as possible. And to be honest with you, historical relevance matters more than race, if that makes sense. So long as what happens in the movie, if that's even intended, it doesn't matter. I mean, it could be a fictional piece. If it's creative writing and it's fictional, then who gives a shit? It could be anything you want. I mean, it could be fucking Cleopatra in space for all I care about. But even if it was a biopic or something, or like some type of documentary, the race that she's being played by is irrelevant to me. What matters more is that she's historically represented in the proper context in terms of what she did.
Just that she plays it okay.
Yeah.
Let's take the Brendan Fraser. You mentioned Brendan Fraser. Let's take the
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser mummy movies.
Yeah.
Was the guy who played Imhotep Egyptian?
He
No.
looked Egyptian, and I'm pretty sure that
He
was
looked
Billy.
Egyptian, right?
Was it fucking Billy? Billy Zane?
The guy at G.I. Joe. I can't. No, it wasn't Billy Zane.
I thought it was
but
Billy
it's the
Zane.
guy- No, it's the guy in G.I. Joe, the one who can change his appearance in G.I. Joe.
Oh no shit! I
can't
forgot. It's been a while.
It's
All
a
right.
fat bald.
Yeah, I
guy.
don't think he's Egyptian.
But exactly.
Yeah.
But he played it well. We're not talking about it. We're not saying, "Oh, he looks so fake. He didn't look Egyptian."
Yeah.
He played it well, and that's my point. Is that
No, we're in agreement. I
we're
think that's what
complaining
matters.
about these about the different races. People like the Prey movie was done by what's that girl's name? She's a little thin girl, but she's actually Indian.
Sure.
And people were like, "Well, she's not full Indian." I'm like,
Who gives a shit? To be honest, I think she would get more shit. Like the fact that they made the movie if she wasn't Indian, it would have received. Well, I mean, it's
if a movie wants to be authentic
yeah,
and hire an actor of that ethnicity and it works,
yeah,
cool. There's sometimes that the director is going to hire an actor of that specific ethnicity, and it's still
ethnicity.
gonna be a piece of shit movie. Yeah, ethnicity, and it's still
Right.
going to be a piece of shit movie. I'm buzzed. I'm heavily buzzed.
No, it's
already.
good.
But my point
You're
is,
right,
that
though.
it's still going to be a piece of shit because it's not. It's a piece of art. Movies, television shows are art and entertainment, and all we should care about is that it's executed perfectly, not the actors,
Yeah, I agree with that.
where it's located.
I think that there's a lot of fake outrage, man. I think there's a lot of psychos out there that would love to argue that to death in terms of like, well, we got to make sure we have accurate representation. And then there's people that really don't care. A lot of it is fake outrage, man.
You know what I think of?
What?
Imagine if people were outraged that the Mona Lisa wasn't an Italian woman. Imagine that.
Wait, she's Italian?
Imagine it. She was painted by...
Yeah, I'm fucking with you. She's Italian.
Okay. My point is that imagine if people are outraged all over the world. I'm not gonna go see the Mona Lisa because she's not an Italian woman. She's actually from Spain. It's not real. It's art. It's a beautiful piece of art.
It also reflects the time
you're
period,
not looking
man.
at
That's
exactly.
kind of like hitting on my Spielberg video again. It's like I get very nervous when when people start remaking things and reshaping history, because it really was. It's like we're not far away from Sound of Music or Citizen Kane being remade because of misogyny or because of whatever insert outrage here, and like that's really bad, man. It's like we need to leave things alone. Reboot the shit. You know what I'm saying? Reboot the garbage stuff. But the classics, man, like can we leave that shit alone, please? Like it's a time capsule.
There are a million billion, a trillion different ideas that
Yeah.
you can take and put minorities in the lead,
Yeah.
and it would be a better movie than X, Y, and Z.
Oh, for sure.
Leave the movies X, Y, and Z alone and create A, B, and C.
I agree.
So different. That's
Also, like maybe, I don't know, stop fucking like giving. If you are really, if anybody's watching this and you are and they're a staunch advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion, I would say cool, I get it, but for the same thing, like, can we stop fucking giving them the roles that already exist and give them some really cool shit that they could stand up on their own, right? Like, we don't need more Captain Americas being African American. We don't need that. It's already been done. Give them their own fucking movies. Give them their own characters, man. Create really strong, cool characters that just happen to be minorities. Nobody cares if they are. Just give them something, like, in terms of like some fresh content. Because my argument is always that Hollywood's creatively bankrupt and that we are not getting anything. It's rare when you catch a gem. They're out there, but it's rare. And a lot of the commercialized shit that we consume is all junk, right? It's very rare where you get something that's really good. Like Hancock, perfect example. That's perfect. Hancock, some people, I liked Hancock. I thought Hancock was cool. I thought Hancock might have been something that existed already. I didn't know that it, like, similar to John Wick, where I'm like, holy shit, this is like fresh, right? Hancock could have been something really cool. It was at a time that Will Smith was at a peak, and I think it had a lot of potential. But again, it was giving somebody a platform that wasn't a rehashing of the same old fucking characters that we see all the time. I guess that's my point. Is like, cool. Like that's why I like Creed so much. It's like, yeah, it's Rocky. Technically, it's Rocky, but it's not. It's fucking Apollo Creed's son, right? Like, and the movie kicks ass.
How many people are watching? Is nobody watching anymore?
6, maybe. Yeah,
Let me go a step further and say this. You can make a movie right now with $100. Go Google the movie Skinamarink. I think the movie was made with like $500, $700. It got picked up by a major studio. Guy's about to make millions of dollars. An iPhone has a better camera and microphone than home video recording equipment from 20 years ago.
Dude, the fucking cameras we're using to record our webcams right now is better.
Are better.
Yeah.
You can make a movie with your iPhone.
But it starts with a fucking script, and the problem is they're fucking garbage.
But my point is,
everything's been done.
Anybody can make a movie now. Minorities, gay people, trans people. You can make a movie right now and put it on YouTube.
Doesn't make you an artist.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you have an opportunity now to make movies more than ever. You can make a movie right now. You can make a good movie on a fucking phone.
Do you remember you remember the dude that used to do all those thumb movies? Do you remember the thumb movies? What the fuck was that guy's name?
I do. I can't remember.
It's so fucking weird because I always hear that soundbite every once in a while from Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, where he's like, that fucking where she's running away or whatever.
But my point is that, like, minorities, trans people, gay people, white people, you can make movies right now on your fucking phone, and if you're a good filmmaker, your movie will get picked up. There's movies on YouTube.
Yeah.
That people make horror movies on YouTube, and they're like Paranormal Activity. But think about this. They're like Paranormal Activity, which went on to make like $127 million on a $70,000 budget or $7,000 budget.
Yeah. But it's I mean, I make short films all the time. Right? They're never going to go anywhere, right? Like, they're never going to see the light of day, But
I think my point is that, like, you don't need the rules like the Academy Awards are doing, like these rules where you have to have a certain number of minorities and stuff. You don't need that anymore.
It's getting
if
it's getting a little
minorities
crazy.
feel like they're not being included in Hollywood,
Yes.
take your phone.
That's
and
that's
make
that's what they're
movie.
saying. That's the claim.
Make the movie on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
That wouldn't be equity though. See, equity is like
Sometimes
they're
to do-
arguing that Hollywood is controlled by I guess white Europeans and that
know.
they need equity in Hollywood, not necessarily the ability to make quality artwork on YouTube and
Again,
shit.
all you have to do is Google Skinamarink, a movie that was made on YouTube. I think it was
Yeah.
made by some Swedish people, and it has been picked up by a major studio and it was made with a budget of like $700 or something, or 7,000. It was such a low amount.
It was
That is-
Canadian experimental.
That was Canadian.
Yeah, it was
experimental.
Canadian. I just Googled it.
Let me I'm gonna jump away for literally 1 minute because
Yep.
I have to bathroom it. I'll
No, it's
be right
yeah.
back.
No, it's cool.
30 seconds.
All right. I'll talk about Skinamarink because I got the stream up anyway. Solo streaming for those still listening. God bless. All right. To all my Rumble fam, hit that follow button because I got no follower. I don't know what's up with Rumble, man. I can't get any followers on Rumble, and that's my home platform. Is a slow cinema on ketamine? That is weird. Wait, is this a Shudder film? Wait, this looks familiar. Kyle Edward Ball. This definitely, I know this dude. Ugh, fucking Vulture.
All right.
Oh,
Sorry
you're
about
back?
that.
All right, let me switch to
Yeah, I came back
let
like
me
that.
switch
Yeah.
to dual
What is-
screen. Right now I
I know.
am showing everybody, let me see if I could presentation of this. So
What are you showing?
I'm going over Skinamarink. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can see
which,
the
by the
stream.
way,
Can you see the
if you
stream or
can-
no?
No, I don't have my glasses on, and
No, that's
I'm
fine.
already
You don't have to worry about it. I just wasn't sure if
kind of drunk right
it's-
now, so I'm
no, it's
about
cool.
to start shitting my pants soon.
It's this guy apparently, he got started on Reddit and stuff like that, but like this apparently Skinamarink is kind of like a, I don't want to say a sequel because that's loose, but I'm reading it here. Where was it? Damn,
I'll just say to
I
the
wanna check the budget.
to the 6 people watching it, it is a very interesting movie. You know, when you saw Paranormal Activity, or if you're as old as us, you saw the Blair Witch, and it was one of those turning points where you see a movie and like, holy shit, this is a whole new genre. This is something different. This is something new. This is something that could explode. When you see Skinamarink, it's kind of like that. It's low budget.
I fucking
it's
knew it.
cheap.
It's a fucking
yeah,
Shudder
it's-
movie. I thought it was a Shudder. It might
Oh,
have
is
been a
it?
Shudder flick. Yeah, it's Shudder. It was distributed by
And-
Shudder. It was produced. It had a budget of $15,000, and it made about
15,000.
$2 million in the box office.
So far, from what I understand, it got picked up for distribution. So what I think that it's going to be released on.
Oh
either
yeah,
a
it's
major
going to Shudder.
Oh, okay, so it's going to Shudder. So I'm assuming that they're going to get a nice chunk of money for that.
Oh,
But
dude,
that's
you
my
know what?
point.
Hold on. There was a fucking movie that I saw a couple years ago. I think it was during the pandemic. It was a low budget horror movie that it revolved around like friends getting together on a Zoom call.
Oh, okay.
It was, dude. Hold on.
But there you go. That's my point. Is that I understand that Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. I get that, and there is a lot of.
It was called Host, bro. The movie was
Oh,
called
I think-
Host. Dude, this
heard of that.
movie was incredible. For anybody who's watching this, that if you might not have seen it, it was a Shudder original. It was incredible. It was super fresh, especially at the time it came out. It was super low budget. It was done in a very smart way. And this movie slaps. Like, this movie is excellent. And it hits that same note that what you were talking about with Skinamarink, where it's like you don't need. It's amazing what could be created when you got nothing but limitations on you when there's a fucking pandemic, right? And it really truly does bring out artistic talent.
Yeah.
This movie was great.
And I think that's what I just wanted to say. Like, I do get it. I'm a bit of an apologist for Hollywood, or maybe not an apologist, but I kind of play devil's advocate a lot. But I play devil's advocate because right now, if you're if you are an aspiring filmmaker, if you got
Right.
that passion and you got that fire to make a movie, you got an iPhone, you can make a movie. Now, we don't know what the quality is going to be. Obviously, it's not going to be the distribution of a Hollywood movie, but you've got YouTube, you've got Rumble, you've got Discord, you've got Twitch, you've got all these places to show your movie.
Yep.
So stop worrying about Hollywood. Make your movie. Make your movie. And Skinamarink is the perfect example of people going out there and making a movie. Now, let's be honest, horror movies are sometimes a little bit easier to make cheaper because
Well,
if
they
you need a
are. They are easier because that's
yeah,
the
they're a lot
fucking
easier.
they're
A lot of
low budget.
Skinamarink is jump scares. It's a lot of jump scare, but it's so well made. It's so good that you're just like, even though this movie is so low budget, it's so well made.
It's
And
another
and
story
that's
of like, look at Kevin Smith, right? Like, God, that guy Kevin Smith is totally
yeah,
washed up at this point, right? The guy is complete Hollywood shill, but he made Clerks for
right.
$30,000, and
And there you
that
go.
was it. But I think the reason why Kevin Smith was so damn popular was because especially back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, was he represented like the everyman can make it in Hollywood type of shit, where it was like he came from a low income family, a low income town, and he made it happen. And it was like I don't know what to call it. It's like that fish out of water kind of story where, yo man, he made it. So he gave hope to a lot of like up and coming artists and filmmakers and stuff. And I mean,
Well,
since
think
then
about
he's
this.
gone on to do junk, but
Yeah, he has, and let me tell you something. It when he made the movie Clerks, he probably had to fucking get like 10, $15,000 worth of fucking video and audio
well, that's
equipment.
where the primary, he put it all on his credit card, man.
Yeah,
That's how he got most of his
right
equipment.
now you can get equipment better than what he had
Yeah.
for a fraction of the price, and that's my whole point.
Well, that's why
Stop
you have to
worrying
be
about
smart on
Hollywood.
how you know how to make the
Make
film,
your
right?
movie.
You introduce CGI into your movie, you're automatic, especially unless it's like really fucking like Warehouse 13 sci-fi level, like
Yeah,
it's going to be expensive. So learning, like, that's why I bring it up every fucking week now, but Terrifier, right? Garbage movie, but the guy knows how to do practical effects, and
knows how to do
because
practical
right,
effects.
and because
Jimmy
he's able
Fallon.
to do that, he can make shit happen.
Exactly.
Now Art the Clown is whack, and the fucking story doesn't make any sense and it's stupid. But if you're into fucking gore porn, that's
Yeah.
definitely, you know what I mean. And he
But
made it happen. But there was no, like, what was the Brain Dead movie from the 80s? There was another one. There was a couple, like House was another one. There's a
oh,
lot
I
of those
remember
old ones with practical
House too.
effects that are super low budget, man.
Yeah, but
Eh,
you don't need to do that anymore.
No,
You don't.
I
You
agree.
can be you can make a movie where you imply things and it would be better. I think there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of drama you can make, there's a lot of horror you can make with a really really low budget. And again,
It all
I'm just
starts with a
stressing
script.
and again, I'm just stressing my point. If you're a filmmaker, if you're an aspiring filmmaker and you see what's going on in Hollywood and you're like, God damn, it's a dumpster fire,
Yeah.
stop thinking about Hollywood. Make your movie now. Make that shit now. Put it together. Put it on YouTube. Put it on Rumble. Put it on Patreon.
It's true.
Because you got all these platforms that you can put it on now. And you may take off just like Skidmarink did.
Yeah, that's like, it's definitely like lightning in a bottle type of situation.
It
Movies
is
like
tough.
this doesn't really come
I agree.
along, but it's again, it's like, who cares about it being successful? If you want to be a filmmaker, just put your art out there, man. That's all it's
But that's
about.
exactly it. Put your art out there. Because let's be honest, we have the tools to do it. A fucking iPhone will record video and audio just as good as a camera that came out 20 years ago that probably cost like $5,000.
I agree.
And granted, like it's not going to be perfect, but You could take that iPhone, you could record your audio and video. You can download DaVinci Resolve, which is free, and then you can edit. You can edit an entire movie for free on a $300 laptop, like what I do.
Right.
And it's never been easier to make movies. So
It's true.
think about
The
how
hardest part is just getting it out there and getting people to follow. Like, God forbid. Oh my God. Like, I do not like. It's really difficult. I'm on Twitter every single day, man. And like, there's people watching us, especially on Rumble now. If you guys are watching, you know, definitely like follow me because like it's really difficult.
it is. It's very difficult. But my point is that you got people who put out shit
I'm
content.
on Twitter. Whoa.
People like I Show Speed and Kai Sanat and Jake Paul and all those fucking people.
Oh yeah, the YouTube culture in general is like I don't fit that mold.
But my point is that they're making millions and they're not doing shit. They're not doing anything artistic. They're not doing anything remotely difficult. Usually, they're.
Well, that's
doing
because
what
it's a
I
fucking rigged game, dude. Like they're elevated from Google, man.
But I do trailer reactions. That's bare minimum. I'm just looking at a trailer and reacting. I don't have to do any type of homework for that. And people watch that. So if you've got a good idea, if you've got a good idea for a movie, if you've got even a modicum of skill, do it. Make it now. It's never been easier. Make it now. Especially since Hollywood is. Everybody says Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. Everybody says Hollywood is on fire.
Yeah.
Make your movie now while they're on fire. Make your movie.
Well, I got me. Now that I don't know, it's probably a good segue to move into the movie trivia portion of the show. Now that everybody's gone, fuck. Of course, everybody fucking left. Oh wait, no, we still got a few. We got our homeboys hanging out. Couple on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. But yeah, Rumble's really tough, man. It's like I want to grow on Rumble, but I know that they're primarily trying to be a live streaming service. So like you would expect that, but it's difficult, man. It's like growing an audience, I think, is the most difficult part because everybody's doing it. So like having a platform is a very tough thing to build.
You can blow up by doing something really stupid, but
yeah, you just can't count on it. Is what I mean. Is like you can't make something happen. Like you can't make something go viral. Like it doesn't work that way.
It just happens.
Yep, I agree.
It either happens or you force it to happen by doing something really fucking stupid, and we're too old for that. I mean, we're too old to fucking light up a fucking fireworks in our house or something stupid that these content creators do.
Oh my God, it's insane.
When I think about what they do to get like clicks, like I'll sometimes like see some certain content creators where they flip out and they're screaming or they got their shirt off and they're just sitting there and they're fucking ranting, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. I cannot do that.
Oh, I agree. All right, let's see. I'm gonna load up. What should we do? Trivia Vault. Let's do movie trivia. Let's see how good this is. I haven't loaded this yet, so I don't know if it's gonna be a total shit show. We're gonna load the game and then see if I could. I'll do it from Steam, and then see if I could add it to our podcast game layout. All right, let's see. Still learning this OBS shit. I have to say, for the third show, man, I'm pretty happy. Like this shit, so far so good. It's been somewhat easy to set up. All right, let's see. Fantastic graphics, sure. Let's play it. Oh, that was fucking hella loud. All right, we got some game music. Very cool. Let's see. All right, now let me see if I could add it. So, window capture. Let's pull it.
I remember when I used to play the Star Wars trivia. I don't have that anymore. I think I was the one who had the Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and you move 8 times in 10 years, you just lose everything that you have near and dear to you.
Hold on, let me turn the music down because it's insanely loud. And it's probably louder than you are.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I think we're
I'm
coming through the
sure.
same channels. All right. Let me see. Maybe that's my
Did you hear that Hugh Grant is playing an Oompa Loompa in the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie?
No, I didn't.
The
I can barely fucking hear you. Why are you so low, man?
Oh no, excuse me.
Oh, it's your mic.
So,
Holy shit. Yeah, your mic is like does not pick you up when you're on the side of it.
Oh really?
Yeah, not
That's
very
so-
well anyway.
Piece of shit, Mike. What's the name of the guy who's playing Willy Wonka in the new Willy Wonka movie? He's the guy from Dune
Don't
2.
know, and I don't care.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet. So he's playing Willy Wonka. But I was watching news last week, and they said that Hugh Grant is going to play an Oompa Loompa. And when I heard that, I got so discouraged. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like the Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was not that good.
Do we
Not
really
good at
need to? Do we really need a fucking another Charlie and the Chocolate
Nope.
Factory right now?
No, we don't. And Timothy Chalamet is a very good actor, but I think this is going to be a movie that he's going to flop in.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, he's a skinny motherfucker. He's like Finn Wolfhard. You ever see Finn Wolfhard's legs? They
No.
look like fucking Skeletor's legs.
He skipped leg day, dude?
He's fucking bony as fuck.
He skipped leg day?
He reminds me of I'm trying to think of somebody who's got that really thin skeleton look to. He reminds me of the aliens from They Live. They're fucking he's just skinny and nasty.
Oh my god! Finally, I think
By
I
the way,
finally got it. Yes, I did it.
Yeah,
Look at that
did you
shit.
see that in my last trailer? I mentioned Powder because in the Dune 2 trailer they have a guy that looks like Powder.
I did.
Right?
Yeah, it was a good reference actually, because like it looks just like it. All right, let's see. I don't know if you can see the screen.
I
but-
can. Yeah, it's kind of cut off though because it's because of the chat.
I could
Yep.
wait the chat. No. I switched screens.
I got
You
it
should-
now.
You should be good.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see if let me lower my browser. Bring up. All right, so that was a kind of a kerfluffle, but I shouldn't have to do that again.
I'm gonna
Alright.
put on my glasses so I
Let's play this
look
shit.
like a
Welcome to
idiot.
Movie Trivia Vault. Welcome, contestant. Let's take a look around and see what you have in store for you for the Trivia Vault. Do we need a tutorial? Nah,
No.
skip it.
Go for it.
Who played Cher Horowitz in the movie Clueless?
Oh, that's Alicia Silverstone.
That is
That's easy.
correct.
Oh, they have the actual names here.
Yeah. Who played Fezzik in The Princess Bride? Andre the Giant, Lou Ferrigno, Mr. T, or Hulk Hogan? I'll answer that one.
That's
'Cause
okay.
I didn't realize there's a fucking timer
It's
here.
too easy.
What was the Jack Nicholson's character in The Witches of Eastwick?
Oh, I don't know his character. What's the thingies?
Oh my
for it?
god. Can we fucking like take the timer off, dog? Like
Yeah, I'm trying to change my quality. Is at 144p right now. It's fucking
what? Are you
my
serious?
quality is at 144p. I don't know why.
That is horrible. What's the first rebel ship seen in A New Hope? A blockade runner transport ship? Oh, blockade runner. See, I should have known that, but I'm like under pressure because there's fucking timers in this game. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, what animals crawled all over Indy in the cave?
Bugs. Insects. It's
I put
insects. It
scorpions.
has-
No, we gotta hold on. We gotta let's
Well, the
wait for
problem
you.
is
Let
that-
me know when you're oops, shit. Let me know when you're good.
It's scorpions because there's
No,
tarantulas.
it's tarantulas actually.
It's tarantulas.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it
It's
wrong.
just that there's a delay, so I can't see the actual.
Steam
answers
isn't fucking
because-
responding now, so now I gotta wait.
This is fucking-
I know it's a total shit show. Let's see if I can.
I'm fucking really buzzed to the point of
No.
almost drunk.
It's good. We're gonna need it because like this is like It's like the fucking questions are like rapid fire, dog. Like I didn't realize that like there was just timer. I was originally gonna go on Amazon and get cards, like traditional like cards to do movie trivia with people who are watching and shit for chat. And I was like, oh wait, I didn't get it. So I bought this and it's not bad so far. It looks okay, but holy shit, man. Like you want to talk about
it's easy, but it's fun.
well, it's like it'll be great if I could if I can get it to be the timer to be down. Like right now it's like it's just rapid fire. It just doesn't stop. And then it deducts our points the longer we take.
Oh yeah, it's because I mean, if I had them in real time, I would be faster. But
all right, Trivia Vault back in it. All right, let's see. Maybe we could see if there's a sound on. No, sound off. This is like, who the fuck developed this game? Because it's like the most minimal amount of options.
The CD-ROM. There was one CD-ROM game for Sega Genesis that had the.
Oh my god! I'm getting the same fucking questions again. Who played Chair Horowitz?
Really?
Oh my god! It's in the same fucking order.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh my god! This sucks, bro.
At least you Silverstone, obviously.
Oh, it's Daryl Van Horn. Okay. What was the first Rebel ship seen in a New Hub? Blockade Runner. See, look at this. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, oh, tarantulas. Holy shit, I can't believe it's not even randomized.
That's a shame.
What Uma Thurman? This is fucking really bad. Well, it's a good thing I got it for like 90% off.
Poison
Dumb and Dumber,
Ivy
all
and
my pets, all my friends are pets. Rubberface and Ace Ventura. Full length film? Rubberface? I was gonna say, wasn't it Once Bitten?
No, it's
I never saw Rubberface. Yeah.
It's gotta be All My Friends Are Pets. What?
I'm fucking like, this is unplayable.
Wasn't it the song Are You Jesus Christ Superstar?
Bro, this is like unplayable at this point. We're gonna have to do trivia.
Just guess that.
No, we're gonna have to do trivia now, like fucking traditional way. Because the timer, there's no option for the fucking timer. I can't stop it. So like, because you're watching the stream, it's like 7 seconds behind. On top of that, so like we can't even like get in. Like we can't even fucking. It's so bad. Oh man, if anybody's even watching us after that shit show, it would be a fucking miracle, dude. Holy shit! All right, so let's fucking go back to the web presentation here. We'll do it next week, man. We'll I'll order that shit on Amazon and I'll read the questions out loud and we could have people in chat playing if they want to play. Sometimes they don't, but we'll play as well. Trying to think.
What the hell is that? Fool's Paradise. Who the fuck is Fool's Paradise?
Where do you see that?
It's on your screen.
What?
It's right on the screen. Oh, you're gone now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was on YouTube.
Sorry,
it's my web browser.
I'm heavily buzzed now.
Nice.
Now I'm heavily buzzed.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that Sisu movie. I heard that was really good.
Which one?
The Sisu movie. The SISU.
I'm surprised, dude. Evil Dead Rise got 6.9.
Well, I think I heard that it was really graphic. I'm sure there's people who treat it kind of like Terrifier, where it's just a little bit too much for them.
There was there was a series of I'm trying to see. I should check my media server, but there was a series of like really small indie movies. Ones that like the guy from John Cho was in.
Oh, I'll tell you what. There is something we could talk about.
What?
And that is the fact that the last test screening for the new Exorcist movie went absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is not good.
And this is an A24 movie, which is that's your jam right there.
I know, man. I don't know. It's not screening very well, and I don't know. Like A24 is hit or miss, though, man. I'll be honest. Like there's times where they're really good, and there's times where they're not.
Really, really bad is what I heard that the screening was. That people did not like it. That it was boring.
Yeah.
They said it was boring. They said it was too long. and that there was only a couple of jump scares. Jump scares, not scares, jump scares, and that's it. And that makes me muy depressed.
Here's one that I downloaded and I've been meaning to see, and I haven't seen it yet, and I'll probably make it a point to do it. It's called Searching,
Oh,
and it stars John Cho and Deborah Messing, and basically his daughter like disappears, and he's trying to find clues off her laptop, and it's a super indie film. It did really well in Sundance a few years ago. I think it was back in 2018. And that this everybody praises this movie. I think there's a sequel too, as well. I don't know
oh,
much
really?
about the sequel or not,
I've
but
heard
yeah,
of it, but I've never watched it. Not I don't think. I know I haven't watched it.
yeah. There's where the hell's the other one? I don't see it. Maybe he's
John
not in it.
Cho.
But yeah, you
I
should. Primer was the other one too. You definitely got to see that.
Yeah, I have to watch Primer. Can I just say, not John Cho. There's another Asian actor. He's the guy who plays the voice of Invincible. Um,
Oh,
something Yang, Stephen Yang.
yes, that
I want
sounds
to say
right.
Stephen Yang.
Sure.
So Stephen Yang is on a movie. It's on Shutter. It should still be on Shutter. It's with Stephen Yang and it's with Samantha. Uh, she looks a lot like Margot Robbie.
You're fucking throwing me fucking
I'm
hardballs
drunk.
right now, dude.
I'm drunk because I love this woman. She's in the Babysitter movies, which are on Netflix, and they're really good.
Are you kidding me?
Samara Weaving. Samara Weaving is like a clone of Margot Robbie, except better, sluttier, cooler,
The
better
hell's the
actor.
Babysitter movies on Netflix? What's the name of them? I can't even look it up.
They're just called The Babysitter, and
Oh, it's
they
called The
are
Babysitter? Oh, here we go.
schlock horror movie, and they are fantastic.
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
So she's in this movie with Stephen Yang on Shutter. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a movie where this virus takes over this entire office, and they kind of turn like zombies, where they turn into rage zombies like 28 days later, but they're still they can still communicate, they can still talk, and they're still functional, but they become rage zombies.
Right.
And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that movie as a, I guess you would call that an independent horror movie.
I'm trying to think
I don't know
of
where I was going. I just wanted to say that I enjoyed that and that I love Samara Weaving. I think that she deserves more credit than Margot Robbie. They're both, I think, from New Zealand or Australia. They're beautiful women. Beautiful women.
it's the
But I love Samara
Nordic
Weaving.
bloodline, that fucking Viking bloodline.
In fact, I want to say that Samara Weaving.
So Samara
Oh,
Weaving.
God
Yeah.
damn it. Fucking stupid Spaniard I am. Samara Weaving was in this movie that, if you haven't watched it, it's not low budget, but it's a medium budget horror movie. It's called Ready or Not. It's not even horror. It's more like a
Oh,
a
man,
thriller.
if I saw the title, if I saw the cover,
Type in Ready or Not,
yeah, I just did.
and you'll. Oh, okay. So this movie is really good. It's basically about a woman who just got married into a family, and this family plays these games whenever whenever a new person comes into their family. This family plays these games. Now, there's a specific game within this game where if it gets chosen, they basically play hide and seek around the house, but if the family finds you, they kill you. And it is absolutely an insane movie. It's great. It's got great acting. It turns the whole narrative around. She starts off as the damsel in distress, and then she turns it around and she ends up hunting the family themselves.
Right on.
Great movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched this movie,
I'll check it
is
out.
this Samara Weaving, or did I just make that up because I am drunk?
It is. Dude,
It is
what's so
Samara.
crazy is like when I listen to your microphone, like when you go to the side of it, you sound so good. When you're talking into the head of it, you don't. And I'm wondering, like, I don't know
Maybe
why.
I should. It's because this is a Moana. It's from China.
Oh,
It's from China.
China. It's from China.
But
I'll
seriously,
check this movie out. Actually, I'm gonna download it right now just to
I like
see.
this movie because of the fact that it's not over the top. There's no crazy CGI. It takes place in a house. It feels contained. It's a contained movie. But I've been crushing on Samara Weaving for about 3 years now. I'm waiting for her to surpass Margot Robbie and just
She has
start.
a weird face.
She's beautiful. Oh God.
She's got like a put it up on the screen here for everybody to see it.
I know my wife's not gonna listen to this podcast, so I can just say that she's so beautiful. I I would
Let's see.
I would chew on her box like fucking
Yeah, I know
bubble
you
gum.
might have to cut that out, man. We're gonna fucking live right now.
Is box a bad word? We can't say box.
Yeah, you can't say box. Well, maybe you
Yeah.
can. You can say box. I don't think anybody's gonna care.
Look at those eyes. They look like your ex-girlfriend's eyes. You remember your ex-girlfriend?
Oh man, you're fucking drunk. You're definitely toast right now.
I'm pretty toast right now, but I think you actually enjoyed this movie on a more serious, non-drunk note. I think you enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna
really
check it
good.
out. There's let me see, top picks for me.
I'm trying to think of any other news that I wanted to discuss. As far
Oh,
Fool's
did you ever see
Paradise.
Green Room? Actually, that was a pretty good movie.
I haven't seen
It's
it,
pretty
but
violent.
I do know about it, and I think that's why I don't like it is because it's one of those dirty, ultra-violent movies. It's like
Yeah, it's not for
gritty.
everybody.
And it's like one of those movies that you watch and you want to take a shower after, which is it's not bad. It's actually a good movie from what I heard, but I don't
Yeah.
do well with those movies. I get very uncomfortable in those movies, and I heard that there's a couple of uncomfortable scenes in that movie.
Oh yeah, dude, it's insanely uncomfortable.
I don't do well with any uncomfortable movies. I
No.
just don't do well with them.
Did you see The Ritual? That was it was okay.
I didn't watch that one. No,
Okay.
who's the main actor in that one?
A bunch of no name guys. Really, I don't really know any of
Oh,
them.
really?
But I did catch this movie last year.
Oh,
Do-
is this the one where they go in the woods and then there's a monster in the woods?
Well, it's a
Or
spirit.
they go hike?
Yeah, that's like following them in Sweden. But yeah, they're on their like bro camping trip or whatever.
This is
And-
where one of the hikers doesn't have fucking hiking shoes, even though they planned it months in advance.
Yeah,
And he bring the correct shoes, right?
yeah. It was very
an
weird. Yep.
Little
Yeah, it was good.
fucking-
It was a little creepy, a little bit weird. Where you're kind of in the woods and like some weird shit's going on, but that was okay. That was like the Netflix, because then there was also Troll that came out around the same time, and Troll was like Troll sucked, right? That
Yeah.
Troll movie on Netflix. Oh man, it was
Right.
bad.
It's
This one
the
here.
one with the big troll. Well, let
Yeah.
me ask you, what's your what would you say the most recent horror movie that you remember that you really enjoyed?
Most recent horror movie that I enjoyed.
And it could be horror / slasher because it doesn't need to be monster horror. It could be a slasher movie. It could be ghost, whatever.
It's hard to say. I honestly think that like it's more that's a tough one. I'm trying to think of like what I've seen lately. At least this year anyway.
We can count Nope as it's a horror movie. And
Which
Nope
one?
is pretty Nope. The movie with the alien.
I like that movie actually. I like pretty much everything that Jordan Peele does. My wife didn't care for it too much just because she said like it just wasn't that exciting. I actually thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a little different. She didn't like it just based
thought it was
upon like
unique.
nothing really
I-
happened. Yeah.
I thought it was really unique.
Yeah,
I
she
thought
was not
for a-
impressed with
Oh,
with it.
really? I mean, that's a valid argument. I enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought I was going to enjoy it because I know that Jordan Peele loves to make these movies that are outside of the box. So I expected the movie to be outside of the box, but I still enjoyed it a lot more. I think it still exceeded my expectations. I
What
think
was
the
the other
monkey
one?
scene
Us was the one. Us was okay. It was a little weird.
this
The
is
ending was
a little
dumb.
controversial. I think Us is one of those movies that it's like artsy weird
Yeah.
because
The
the
Hands
whole
Across
fucking
America thing just didn't resonate
yeah,
with me. It was weird.
again, it's artsy weird. Yeah, it's a weird one.
It was, yeah, it was really strange. And then there
I
was
know we say
Get Out was
Barbarian.
good. I thought Get Out was great. I thought that was the best out of all of us, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say Barbarian was a horror movie, and that one was
Yeah, I
pretty good.
enjoyed Barbarian as
Probably,
well, for sure.
I would say
I
that's
actually like that
probably the
one.
most recent because you haven't watched The Evil Dead. I feel like
I
if you
wanted to
watch
go
The
to the
Evil
theater to see it this week and I didn't get a chance to.
Dead, I
Um
feel like you would like that one. I don't think that you'll love it. I think you'll like it in the sense that it was okay. It was an okay movie.
I'm not expecting much. I mean, it's like I'm not expecting it to. So I love the show, to be honest. Like I wish there was more of it. Like the Evil Dead show that was on HBO or whatever it was. I used to love it, man. They canceled it after like a few seasons, but
It was a
um,
good show.
it really was, and the characters were great. This I know what they're trying to do with this. In terms of just being able to branch out the universe and be able to kind of have a little bit more flexibility, but yeah, I don't know what to expect of it. I mean, it's not Bruce Campbell. It's totally fresh in some ways. So I
I
don't know.
think I think anybody who's a fan of it is going to be worried that they're going to franchise it, like James Bond,
Oh, they
where
totally are. I could
where every
definitely
two to
see it.
3 years they come out with a new movie, and
I could definitely
I
see
don't
that. Yeah.
I don't want it, man. I saw an interview where Kathleen Kennedy said that she wants to do that with Star Wars, and I'm just like,
Of course
even
she
that
does.
is too much. Of course she does. Yeah, it
Why wouldn't
just
she?
doesn't follow a fucking set pattern. It's so upsetting.
She's I don't know. They need to fire her fucking ass.
It's insane that they haven't yet. She has to have something on the big wigs, like some type of evidence or something. Like what?
What like dirt and
You
shit
know,
like
the fucking
Epstein level fucking
diddling kids or something. Because I don't know I don't know why she's still there.
like some
I
fucking
don't know
Epstein
why.
shit. I think it
Either
is.
that or she gives
There
the
must be
most
a clause
fucking
like in her
hate.
fucking contract or some shit because like she's so tight with like Steven Spielberg for years.
But imagine if 20 years from now you read like a memoir and Bob Iger was like, yeah, she gave the most amazing blowjobs you could ever imagine, and that's why we kept.
How fucking like how drunk are you right now?
I'm drunk enough to picture fucking
Oh man,
Captain
no, I don't
Calloway
need that visual.
giving
Oh my
head to
god.
Bob
I,
Iger.
I don't know. Whatever fucking monetization capability we had is now right out the window after
Oh,
Bob Iger's getting blown.
I say fuck YouTube. Fuck them. They've just been fucking dropping the ball lately anyway.
Oh
That's why
man.
everybody's going to Patreon. Or what's that other? There's another site that they charge like $2 a month or some nonsense.
What?
Nebula, I think it's called.
Oh, I have a locals actually. I don't use any of the other ones. Just
Yeah,
because like I do everything through it's so fucked up that like I can monetize through Rumble. I love Rumble. I love the premise of Rumble, but I can't fucking grow on Rumble. I don't know what it is. Like it
I
is like no
know.
matter how much I try, but locals is directly tied to Rumble. And all I want to do is just grow my Rumble channel. And it's like it's like I don't know if it's just I'm not getting any exposure on Rumble or I just got to keep plugging at it where I'm just kind of like continually going
I gotta
until
keep
people,
plugging at it.
follow, but it's tough,
Yeah.
man. Like it's like I feel like YouTube is just I don't know. I don't focus on YouTube, but it's like it's also where most of my I guess subscribers are, which sucks. It's like I want it to be Rumble.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know what to.
Like I
I
started
don't
a
even
Twitch,
know.
like somebody's watching us on Twitch right now, right? Because
Really?
I started a Twitch channel.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching us on Twitch.
I know, right? And like I didn't put any effort into building that channel out yet completely. But it's also like it's very strange where it's like okay, cool. So it's like now I use Restream so I can go because it's like 5 different fucking platforms. It would be so much better if I could just it's so easy if I could just focus on one. But no. It's like people can watch me wherever, but it's like there's a whole lot of nothing that's being watched. Like nobody's following me. It's insane.
It's tough, man. I there's times where I want to give up. There's times where I just want to give up, and I mean, I'm wasting hours upon hours of my free time when I
Yeah.
can just be jerking off or
Well, see,
fucking
that's
playing
I agree with you
Xbox.
to a point where it's like I know that this is like it's a marathon, not a sprint. And what I mean is like I like making little videos here and there and live streaming and shit every week. But like what I don't care for is playing the game of the analytics game, the fucking this is what you
Yeah.
need to throw in your fucking thumbnail game. Like I don't care about any of that. And like that's the unfortunate thing is like I just got to keep making content, and then once you make enough content, people follow you. But it takes time.
It does. It
You know,
does.
unless I want to fucking throw firecrackers downstairs into my fucking living room to like,
Oh,
make
Jesus.
myself go viral.
I've watched a couple of videos on some of these they're commenter creators. They comment on other people's
Yeah, you were mentioning it. That shit just sounds cringe.
It is cringe, but I can't believe how many people watch them. I mean, even
I'm astounded
I do,
by
like,
what
I
people
was
actually
stupid,
watch.
right?
Like, I don't know. I sound
Yeah,
like a fucking old man, but like I am. I'm like, why do you want to watch other people play video games? Everybody fucking watches other people play video games.
well, you know me. I fucking hate social media. I hate social media with a passion. I don't
Yeah.
have a YouTube account, or excuse me, I don't have a Facebook account. I don't have an Instagram account, like personal. I have it for the channel, but I don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Like I have them, but it's like I don't really post that often. It's like on YouTube and shit and Twitter. It's like I really want to focus just on a couple of platforms, but yeah, for Twitter and shit, it's like easier and it's just it is what it is. It's a grind. But it sucks. It's like when we're like, okay, cool, we're signing off for the night, and it's like, all right, cool, there's like 4 people here, and it's like I appreciate those 4
I get it
people.
though. I mean, I'm looking at my live chat. I've got 2 people on my live chat, but I appreciate those 2 people because look, I've only got 102 subscribers, and it is fucking hard for me to get subscribers.
Yeah.
And the reality is that I don't have a lot of talent. Like, there's,
I don't think
no, it's true.
it's about
That's true.
exposure, man. It's like
That's
I don't.
true.
I rather
there's-
have 50 people that liked what I did than just a bunch of nobodies, following me for
But
no
I think
reason.
the reality is that there's just a lot of content creators that really know how to come up with stuff on the fly, or they have a wealth of knowledge in their head.
Yeah.
I don't have either of them. I can't come up with stuff on the fly, and I've
That's not true. You do all the time. What are you talking about?
as a donor on. I I don't know anything about movies. I just watch movies. I don't
That's
know
not
anything
true.
about.
Dude, you know what you like, and you can fucking pinpoint what's wrong with a
know what I
movie. I
like,
think that's fine. You don't have to be fucking. You don't have to be Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, but my point is that like it's hard to say that I bring something to the table because I don't really bring anything to the table. But I like doing this. I
I think
actually
people
like
are
talking
just
about-
looking for opinions, man, and like people have opinions on stuff, and they want to vibe to that. I think it's as simple as that, really.
Yeah, I mean, I watch YouTube channels where people are giving opinions on shit that I don't care anything about.
Yeah,
Like I
like
said,
that whole
the-
culture, like I don't involve myself in really.
Exactly. But then I'll find myself watching. I watched a video on Illuminati. I don't know if you know.
Really?
Yeah,
Did it open your fucking mind, man, or what?
Well, it's interesting. It's the drama between this girl Illuminati and the people.
Oh my
that
god, I
she-
thought you were talking about the actual Illuminati, not some fuck all fucking YouTuber. I care less about that shit.
YouTuber.
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? Come on,
No, but
man.
that's
I thought you were talking about skull and bones level shit, man. Some fucking conspiracy
I was
theories. You're
talking about the YouTuber Illuminati.
talking
but
about
my
fucking some
point
dumbass YouTuber names herself fucking Illuminati. I don't give a shit about that.
That's my point is that like even though I have no interest in that, I don't do any of the social media. I find myself listening to it sometimes because it is interesting, even though it's so stupid.
Dude, you know what? That
Make
that
it
reeks of you being starving for good content.
Well, I mean, I watch.
I mean, you
whatever,
watch a
but I
lot of
haven't watched-
shit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I
I'm a
haven't
little
watched
bit
any
more
movies.
choice than you, though, when it comes to that. I am definitely a little bit, I have higher standards than I think you will when it comes to watching it.
I was complaining about people who put movies on in the background, and I was talking about Filmento,
Yeah.
where he was talking about consumers who put movies on the background, and then they end up giving a reason for these companies to make shitty movies like that again and again and again.
Yeah.
And,
No,
I have to
you're
admit,
not
I was-
wrong. You're
I have
part
to
of the
do- I have-
problem
part of the problem. There you go. I'm part of the problem
for sure.
for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but like like when something's on, man, and if you grab your phone, it's shit. Like you've told me you've turned it off. It's not like
Turn it off,
yeah,
exactly.
like
I was
it's and dude, I'll be honest. When you tell me something's bad and that you have your phone out and then
Yeah,
you just
that's
like I
it.
can't
I'm
fucking watch
telling
it.
you
That's
it's
how
bad.
I know it's really bad.
Yes.
It's if
Yeah,
you
because
don't watch
basically-
it, it's really bad.
If this is my bad, this is the average person's bad.
I
because it's
I will turn off a
like-
movie. Like I said, I don't like musicals, but man, holy shit, I have no problem being like, nope. I was 3 or 4 episodes into some show. I'm gonna say it was maybe about a year and a half ago. I can't remember the name of the show now that I think about it. I think it might have been From.
Oh, I like that show, but
I don't know.
I
Actually,
agree.
that's not the one. Never mind. No, I'm
Right,
looking at it
because-
right now. No, it's not the one. All right,
Follow.
it was crap. It was some fucking Netflix true crime series. I can't fucking remember the name. But shit. If I was like, I noped the fuck out on the 3rd episode. I was like, that ain't happening. I won't do
Well, I
it. Like
watched-
I won't invest my time in it. And
Well,
we're a little bit different when it comes to that. But
Yeah, because I'll stick the landing.
you
A
definitely
perfect
will.
example is Mike Flanagan's Midnight Club. Excuse me, I have a hiccup.
yeah,
Mike Flanagan's Midnight Club.
it's just
is,
too. I feel like it's too much of a younger audience for me.
It is. It's a YA show, and I wanted to like it because it's Mike Flanagan. He's awesome. But
He's great. Did you see It Follows? I just got it up on the screen.
yeah, that's
It Follows. It's that one with like I don't know if it's like fucking herpes or whatever. You fucking follow somebody around like the horror herpes
a horror movie about sexually transmitted.
diseases and shit. Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's
Yeah.
a genius movie. It's
It
a
really is.
genius
It was good too. I fucking enjoyed it to be honest. Like it wasn't
was.
bad.
It's one of the rare movies that is something original, and it turned out to be good. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Dude, I have to absolutely get you a copy of Primer. I'd like to do a fucking show where we actually talk about in
Well,
depth.
if I watch Primer, I'll probably do it on the camera because I've held back on watching all new movies. The only thing that I've watched lately is the new season of Rick and Morty because
Wow,
it
really?
it came up on streaming, so I started watching that, and
Damn, we should have
I
brought
love
that up when we were talking about how fucked up culture is, man. They fucking ruined that dude's career.
yeah. Well, at the same time, I heard he's coming back anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
It
Like, he
sucks that
wasn't
like
kicked-
you're fucking like guilty before you could even be tried. The fact that he had to step away from the game and the fact he had to step away from Rick and Morty
Well, he
before
chose to for some of them. You know,
Yeah. he's forced
for
out
some
there,
of them
man.
he was forced out, but others he chose to step away.
Do you remember Chris Hardwick?
I do actually.
Chris Hardwick, the Nerdist guy or whatever. He was like one of the first ones to fall during that Me Too shit, and like they fucking ruined that dude's career, and it turned out that his like girlfriend lied about the whole fucking thing, just to like take him down, and he had been thrown out of Nerdist and everything. Like poor guy, man. Yo, but then there's guys like Weinstein that actually legitimately do shit, right? So like,
Yeah, and then there's guys like well, there's two different types of people. You've got people like Ezra Miller, who
yeah,
we've seen the proof. We know what he did.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
what their excuse is that they say he's had some mental problems.
Did you see
gotta
Kevin Smith
forgive
now came out and he's talking about his fucking sexual abuse in his past and shit?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
you know, it's like I don't really care because like there's no way that this guy could be the protege of the Weinsteins and work in Miramax for as long as he did and not know that shit was going on.
Exactly. You gotta know.
He
He
said he
just turned-
didn't, which I don't buy. And then I think when Clerks the
Look
30th
away,
anniversary of Clerks came out, he donated all the money to like fucking women's charity and shit. And it's just like, dude, come on, man.
You know, for me, like, what was I saying? I don't even know what the hell I was saying.
Oh, you were talking about Ezra Miller, but you were saying about how like
Oh, so yeah. So my point is that like, you got on one hand you got Ezra Miller, right?
yeah.
You know what he did. It seems clear as day. And then he's allowed to make his movie. They're saying forgive him. Let's go to Marvel. We've got the guy who plays Kang the Conqueror,
Oh
Jonathan
yeah,
Majors.
fuck man, I like that guy a lot, and that sucks.
We're not giving him a chance. I
I
mean,
know.
they haven't announced that they've gotten rid of him, but they haven't said a fucking thing either. They haven't
know,
defended
dude.
him. They haven't said
It's
anything.
fucked up, man. It's like it's really weird. Do you remember like it's whole like oh cool like freedom of speech? It's like all right, cool. There is that, but then there's also like, hey man, it's like they're tied to corporations that don't want that bad PR. So I get it. Like you could say whatever you want usually, but it comes with consequences. I totally understand within reason, obviously, not like stupid shit on Twitter where people are getting canceled for no reason. But with
But then let's
situations
say-
like that, I know that Warner Brothers is making sure that Ezra Miller story is buried because they need Flash to do a lot of money.
But then I'll say this: if the people who really have a problem with sexual assault,
Yeah.
abuse, rape, any of like that, if they go watch this movie, does what they're saying a bit hypocritical?
Oh, for sure.
Or yeah, because see, here's the thing.
See, I for one love sexual abuse, and I'm
Flash-
going to see Flash. I'll see
Yeah.
Flash twice.
See, here's the thing. Yeah, if the Flash movie does a ridiculous amount of money,
Yeah.
does that mean that we don't care? Or does that mean that it's just a case by case basis?
Yeah, it's like it's not like if you boycott the Flash because Ezra Miller is a piece of shit that somehow sexual abuse is going to stop in the world. I totally, yeah, it's stupid. He needs to be prosecuted, no question.
But there you go. There's the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
who's deciding this? Are we deciding it, or is the studio deciding it, or is it a combination of both?
Well, that's
Where
the thing. It's
studios are doing it,
public.
we're okay with it.
Yeah, it's the what do they call it? Like you're judged by like public opinion, and then you go to court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I'm gonna pee myself if I don't go now.
Word up. I'll switch to solo mode. Right? Oh, the Rumble stream went down. I'm not sure why. I guess like the fucking servers switched over. I don't know what the fuck. Rumble needs if you guys are watching me and hit that like and subscribe button if you can. But if you're watching me, like man, Rumble really needs a permanent API key for streaming. They make me punch this damn key in every single time I go live, and it's a pain in the ass. It really is. But anyway, let's see here. Charlie's a little toasty right now, I see. But yeah, so horror movies, man. I want to get Dave to see Primer. Primer is an excellent movie. Primer will make you think. This movie here. Super low budget, excellent movie. I have to get him to watch this because I want to do a show where we discuss this movie. It's a time travel movie. I mentioned it last week. Hopefully we can get this in. I'd like to see this again. This is a brilliant movie. It's very well written. It's smart. It's paradoxical time travel, not linear. So really, when it comes down to it, it's a little bit different than Back to the Future and that type of shit. So everything's happening continuously at the same time. There's just like multiple versions. It's a paradox of yourself. So
Oh jeez.
yeah, I was talking to the REMUX fam about Primer.
Oh yeah.
Let me
Good
switch
movie.
back.
Primer.
Primer.
I heard good movie. I haven't watched it yet.
You need to see it, and you know. Oh, it's funny. Is I'm looking at the cover and it says the can't make this shit up. The headiest, most singular science fiction movie since Kubrick made 2001: Space Odyssey, and that's a little bit of a hard sell, to be honest with you. It's just a really smart, well done script that deals with time travel. And if you don't watch, I'm gonna nag you every day this week to watch it.
I'll watch it, but I want to watch it on I got my cable so that I can start recording.
Do you what streaming service would even have this, man? Because like if I could probably send it.
I checked Primer the other day, and it was on I think it's just on Amazon where I'll have to buy it.
Ew,
Which is
really?
fine. I don't care. Yeah, I don't really care.
Oh man, I could
I'll
fucking
do
send it
it.
to you then. I don't think the file's very big.
Yeah. Well, no,
Saying.
I can get it. I can get it as well. But
No, I
my
want to
point
fucking
is
send
that
it to you so
it's
you
a
don't
wrap.
have a fucking excuse. So this way I get to
But
fucking.
I do want to watch that one as a reaction movie because I'm kind of curious to see how I react to it.
It's
I don't know I don't know too much about it, so it's good that I go into it with no knowledge.
it's a fucking
Like I've
total
never seen a
mindfuck.
trailer, I've never seen screenshots, so that's good.
It is a total mindfuck. Like, what's the most mindfuckiest movie you've ever seen?
Ooh,
I mean, I know that like you're kind of buzzed right now, so coming up with something on top of your head, like
yeah,
Memento
I
is
don't
pretty
know.
mindfucky as well, right? Like,
I want to say Mother, the movie with fucking Jennifer Lawrence.
oh fuck, yeah,
Watched
dude.
that
All right,
movie. I
okay,
watched that movie and I wanted to vomit afterwards. It was so fucking weird.
okay, yeah,
I
that's a
think
good one
Mother
actually.
is
I
the
didn't expect you to
weirdest.
say that one. That one's pretty good.
I watched it and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's what I imagine Beau is Afraid is going to make me feel like. Like it's one of those movies that look beautiful
dude,
and if
you know what I want to say? Like, remember, like you sent me the trailer and you were like, "Oh man, this looks like right up your alley, dude." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm super excited about it," but part of me thinks I'm gonna leave that movie and I'm gonna be disappointed. Like, mainly because of fucking not even the runtime. I know it's 3 hours long, but
yeah,
it
fucking
it has to
3 hours.
do with like a topic that like I don't know. It's like
It has to do with anxiety.
yeah,
Like
but it's also like
whole movie,
a weird relationship with his mother.
yeah, the whole movie though is an anxiety driven movie. Like
Some people don't
it's
like that shit. Like some people like when you know like like The Office does uncomfortableness pretty good, I guess. Like those shows that do anxiety, like Meet the Parents is a really good example of that,
yeah.
where you
Well,
get that
let's go back
that
to The
weird,
Office.
yeah.
I hate watching the episode Scott's Tots. Like it's a
Scott's
funny.
Tots. Wait, that sounds so fucking familiar.
That's the one where he promises all the fucking kids a free college degree or a free college scholarship
Oh
if
my
they get
god,
it.
yeah. Scott's
And
Tots. Holy
then he
shit.
didn't think they'd do it, and the entire class fucking graduated like top of their honors or something to that effect.
Oh my god.
And
He's like,
he was
oops.
supposed to give all of them a scholarship, and he didn't think they would do it. And then in the end, he gave fucking batteries for a laptop they didn't own. Like he just like here's a battery for a laptop that you don't own.
Holy shit.
It's but yeah, that episode is so cringe and it's so good. It's a fantastic episode, but I can't watch it because
Some
it's
people
so
don't like that level of like uncomfortableness where it's
yeah.
like that
There's
quiet
something
kind of
that I
like
feel that I don't like.
yeah. See, but I like
But
Punch Drunk Love and shit because it was like very tense and anxiety driven.
Mhm.
Some people don't like that movie either, and like to be honest, like
Yeah,
I love that movie. It's one of my
I think it's
favorites.
just certain genres for me, like child abuse and certain types of abuses I just don't like watching on television.
Yeah,
Probably because they hit too close to home, um, but that doesn't mean they're bad movies. I think that's just more personal preference.
I agree with that. But I'm
Because
uploading Primer right
if you don't
now.
yeah, because if you don't watch Punch Drunk Love, I mean Punch Drunk Love is a
I love it.
fantastic movie. It makes you feel uncomfortable, but it makes you feel. It's a movie that makes you feel. That's what you want, don't you want that from a movie,
It's
right?
also a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and he's super weird with pretty much everything he does.
It really is.
Yeah,
I'd
like
like for him to make an alien movie. Can you imagine a Paul Anderson movie about aliens?
that would be kind of cool, actually. I mean, he's like
That would be-
super artsy, so like it would be interesting to
That's
see.
what I'm saying. Would that be weird? Like imagine the direction, the art direction of the Darjeeling, was it Darjeeling Limited?
Oh yeah, there's also like what's it?
Alien versus Predator.
Yes. There's
That
all
would be amazing.
like I love David Lynch, and he's like another one that like I feel like would be just as fucking weird. Like I love him, man, and everything he's in, just everything he's done.
You know what I would love to see David Lynch do? a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh my god, it'd be the fucking why? It'd be like a mind fuck, total
Where fucking
schizophrenia.
April is dead, and they're trying to figure out.
Holy
like,
shit! Like I remember, like when I was shilling Mulholland Drive, right? I love that fucking movie because it's like the loose spin off of Twin Peaks, and like it was Twin Peaks is probably one of my favorite shows ever. Like I
And full
fucking
disclosure, I hate Twin Peaks.
not everybody likes it, man. It doesn't surprise me.
It
Like
is divisive, but
yeah.
it is art in its purest form.
I
Like it is,
fucking absolutely love that show. I think it's the most. It's so fucking creative, man.
it
It's
really
like
is.
it
It's
really
creative.
everything about it is ugly on so many levels. Like just even the opening credits,
Sure.
everything. But I love
Just
the
fun.
whole small town weird vibe that like like that like the what it was what game was that fucking that like took creative license from Twin Peaks. It was that journalist game.
Oh,
Fuck.
I can't remember the name of it.
Oh my
now.
god.
I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry to
Oh
say.
my god. I wish we
But I
had
know
people fucking talking in chat to be able to give us the answer.
I have 2 people in my chat, and that's not a lot, but
Yeah.
I
Fuck.
can't remember the.
It
But I
was
know what
like
you're talking.
it was a fucking he was an author too. Like I'm trying.
Can't remember. I
Oh
can't
my
remember.
god. Alan Wake. Thank you. Fuck. It took me. I'm like, holy shit. I gotta like take some ginkgo biloba or some shit. Yeah, that game was like kind of loosely close to like what you would see in Twin Peaks, but yeah, I love Twin Peaks, man. The show was great. It is divisive though, man. So like when you say you don't like it, it doesn't offend me. Like a lot of people don't.
And I tried to get into it because when you get these types of movies that everybody brags about, you wanna watch them and you want to get into it because you want to be included in that club. You want to tell people like, hey, I like that movie too.
Oh yeah.
Movies, uh, artistic movies, like that, like anything David Lynch. Like they're hard movies to swallow. So it's nice to watch them and then tell other people like, hey, I like that movie too. But yeah, I could never do it
He's
because
just an interesting dude. Like he's like one of those people that it's just I mean not Tim Burton level. Like he's next level. Tim Burton I feel like over time is just kind of like worn off in terms of
I would say, in fact, I would say he's kind of like Ari Aster. Like Ari Aster.
Yeah.
I mean, this last movie that he did, Beau is Afraid, is for better or worse. He said that this is exactly the movie that he wanted to make.
I feel the same way about David Fincher. He's like another one that I always loved. Like he's done, like Seven, Fight Club, fucking
Nightcrawler? Did he do Nightcrawler? Well, who directed Nightcrawler?
oh that Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Yeah, that movie.
That fucking movie was awesome, dude.
That movie is one of the most underrated movies that you can ever come across.
That is
watch
Dan
Nightcrawler-
Gilroy. His name is
Oh, Dan Gilroy. You have
Dan
to watch
Gilroy.
for anybody who has, for the 6 people who are watching, if you've never watched the movie Nightcrawler, it's one of those movies that you're gonna watch it and then you're just gonna replay it in your head.
I remember the first time I think I saw Jake Gyllenhaal was in Donnie Darko, right? And
He did fantastic in that.
yeah,
He did
it's like I didn't know that he was like, he went on to do some really great shit. I mean, like Nightcrawler is so perfect. It's so it's so weird.
Nightcrawler is one of those movies that you can do a video essay on. And
Yeah, I
you can
agree.
do like an hour, 2-hour video
Like
essay.
total sociopath.
Explaining how it's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
It's
he's a really good. Oh, by the way, I'm looking on his IMDb, but Dan Gilroy directed. Oh no, sorry, written 3 written episodes of Andor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll just say this: like, Nightcrawler is it's one of those movies that you see and then you just got to tell everybody about, like,
Because you're
remember
literally
watching
rooting for a piece of shit.
exactly, and that's exactly what the point I was getting to is that
Yeah.
the character is an awful human being. He's the most awful human being you can ever think about, and yet he's so intriguing. He's so
Yeah, he's a total
engage.
sociopath. He uses everybody else to his advantage, but it's like he's been used and abused to his advantage, right? So it's like he's a product of his own environment.
That's
And
a character.
yeah, a total flawed character, and he'll stop at nothing. It was like, wow, it was amazing to see. It's like, but also too the morality of like profiting off of, I
It's
guess,
a great
being the first one on a scene and capturing horrific things for news is really mind fucky.
because it's one of those moralities that's not clear cut. Sometimes we have a morality that's straight up good,
Yeah,
evil. And then there's moralities that it's like gray area, gray area. They're both gray. So what do you go from there?
I know. It's like the whole concept of the anti-hero in general, and
Yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah. But Nightcrawler is an anti-hero. Well, I don't even know if you can call him an anti-hero.
I mean, it's
So
just yeah, I guess
he's a
not. I mean,
villain.
he's not helping anybody.
He's a villain that you love.
Yeah, he is a just I don't know.
Yeah.
You hate the news and you hate the industry of media, but then you see this guy trying to profit from it, and it's like, well, the media sucks, but like this guy is just a product of that, and it's like this guy's a piece of shit, but you're
Yeah.
rooting for him.
Is it because you're like he's human? He's
I mean,
me.
he extorted the fucking news anchor for God's sakes, and it was just a bizarre movie.
It is. It really is. It's a great movie. It's I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, but I think
I
I
like
like.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't like him too much in fucking what's his name? Training Day. David Ayer at the end of Watch. I'm not
And the-
I'm not a huge fan of that movie to begin with because it's just not your typical David Ayer movie, but I guess in a way it kind of is, but like it's like a long episode of Cops. It really wasn't that interesting.
It really is. I don't like that movie because it's too realistic for me. I remember that the scene where you go into the house and those kids are tied up in the
Oh my
closet.
god, yeah, that was
It's
fucked up.
based on a real life thing, and to me that makes me sick to my stomach. Like people like that tie up their kids in duct tape and put them in the closet.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
They shouldn't even have a trial. They should just shoot them in the fucking head and be done with it.
Dude,
Just do
fucking what the hell? Oh my god, this actress's name. Let me switch screens. But her name is Mary Lynn Raskub, I guess her name is. I don't even know how to fucking. She's
see
Gail
what
the
you got.
Snail in fucking Always
Oh
Sunny.
yeah, I know her.
Yeah, like she works with like she was in Punch Drunk Love. She's kind of like she does like some of these artsy films. She's interesting, man. Like you always see her in things, but you never really know what she's in. She's definitely
She was in
look.
24. That's the biggest thing that she was in.
Oh man, dude, look, she was in Tomorrow War though. Like she's done
she-
movies. Like
She's cute.
she's definitely a supporting actress that's working, man. Like but it's so weird. Like she just shows up and shit, and you're like, oh okay.
She's Gail the Snail, but
Oh my
I'd
god,
let her
she's
fucking give me
excellent,
a
dude.
hand.
She's so good.
I love the scene in when they're doing the Thanksgiving dinner and she's giving a hand job to the Indian guy, and he's like, it hurts.
Oh god, dude. Or when she's doing it to Danny DeVito, and he's like, you're mashing it. He's like, you're just mashing it. That show is like so fucking. It was ahead of its time for the longest. I think actually I just read that we're ready for a new season already. I think it's airing soon.
They're a fantastic show. Man.
It's a show that I could just kind of go back and watch
I was-
at any
I
time.
was,
It's like The Simpsons for me.
I was reading in a small article, and they said that Charlie Day, the beginning scene where they usually show the credit, and it'll say like the gang does blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
then it'll show bits of Philadelphia. They said that on the first day of shooting, he just filmed that, like while he was driving through Philadelphia, and then that's it.
Oh,
That
that's pretty
became-
cool actually. The opening.
He just filmed that while he was fucking driving through Philadelphia one night, right before the day before. I think it was the day before they were supposed to present their video, whatever. That was it. That was his.
I like that
was it.
where it's like kind of raw.
Yeah,
You saw The
I love
Quiet
that.
Place, right?
I did see it.
Did you see the second one yet?
They're coming out with a new movie, which is going to be. It takes place around the time when the aliens first come, but it's going to be in a different locale. I think
Yeah.
Europe or something like
Because
that.
you were
Maybe.
talking about horror movies. I guess like I think I saw this. I think I saw Quiet Place 2 within the last year. I would say that definitely is.
It is good.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually. Um, Emily
I think you're
Blunt
going to
is really
start to
good.
see more movies like that. I don't want to sound. Oh, sorry about that. I moved this map, Mike, but
Oh, I
I
didn't
don't
hear
want to
him.
sound too positive. But I just want to say that there's a lot more movies that are coming out that are medium budget movies. They're movies that are done by decent directors. They'll have a decent cast. They don't go crazy with the CGI. They don't go crazy with the budget.
Right.
And I think you're going to see a lot more movies like that, which is a good thing. Again, that doesn't mean that the movies are going to be good because a medium-sized budget movie can still be bad.
I
But
get a little worried when it's direct to streaming. Like I get worried about games get moving on to Game Pass. You know, it's
I think
like
you're going to see a lot less than that
I hope
because
so.
I know that HBO said that they're fucking done with that. They're not going to do any more direct streaming movies. They're done with that.
I wish they
Um,
wouldn't be because I don't want to leave my house anymore.
yeah,
My house
and to
fucking
be
rules, and like I would like to stay indoors and not have to go anywhere.
movies that could have done well, like the Batman immediately came out on streaming. They said they could have done much better, even though I know you hate it. My point is that
Hate's a strong word, but yeah, it was not what I want from Batman.
you can say you hate it. It's okay.
Yeah, it was
Well,
garbage.
fuck it. There's a lot of shit that I hate, but
I'll take Schumacher's nipples on Batman before I take this Batman.
I'll take this Batman before the Schumacher one.
I'm just being a douche. Like, fuck it. This is better than Schumacher's Batman. I'm not gonna.
I have a crush on Uma Thurman, even though she has some big fucking feet.
Really?
But
She looks like a
she's got
fucking
some
lizard, man.
long toes, but she's.
Yeah,
I
she's
have a
not my
crush on
type.
Uma.
She's fucking weird looking.
Yeah, she just got a
She
big
kicked ass in
nose.
Kill Bill, though. I'm not gonna lie about that.
I think that's why I fell in love with her. That and not Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction.
I didn't
You
like
know,
her
it's
in
real-
Pulp Fiction. Like that movie, like I was too young to fucking really enjoy that movie when it first came out. So like I just didn't understand the grab. You know what I mean? And then when I watch it later on, I'm like, okay, I totally get it now. But
yeah,
I
I'm in
enjoyed the
agreement.
movie when it came out. I just didn't understand how popular it was and why.
I'm 100% in agreement with you. I think
Yeah.
that we were too young to really appreciate the movie. I think if we were 10 years older when the movie came out,
Yeah.
we would have really appreciated it. But I agree. When the movie came out, we were too young to really soak it in and be like, holy shit, this is a good movie.
Yeah,
I
especially
wa-
when he was on the rise there. You know, like in Miramax and shit. It's like Quentin Tarantino's it's Miramax, he literally built that studio for them.
It did.
Yeah.
And when I think of Pulp Fiction, there's so many good scenes, but like specifically like the scene where he asked the guy if he could take a bite of his burger
I love that
and
fucking
then
scene, dude. That looks like a delicious burger.
a Sprite. Yeah, and the scene where he
Yeah.
asks if he could drink his Sprite. There's something so powerful about that scene.
Well, it's also
There's-
who's doing the scene. If that was done by anybody else besides Samuel L. Jackson, the delivery would not have been as good.
It's so intimidating. Like he's drinking a Sprite and he's looking at the guy. What's his name? He's the guy from Career Opportunities. I
The
can't
fuck,
remember
dude.
his-
Yeah, it's a really good fucking scene that you brought up too, because it's like the guy he knows that he's going to kill these kids,
Exactly.
and like
And
he's
he's
literally
projecting
intimidating them.
Like, yeah, he's intimidating them even though he doesn't have to. Like
Yeah.
when he's drinking the Sprite and he's just drinking it and he's looking at him while he's drinking it. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how to explain that because I'm not a film critic, so it's hard for me to explain how I felt when I saw that scene. But it just was, it clicked. It clicked and it was perfect. Like I just felt
It was so fucking like him, like Jules is the character's name, right? And like
Yeah.
he was biblical, so like it was almost like, dude, you fucked over Marcellus Wallace, and now you have to pay the consequences. So it was like him doing that is almost like it was very like, I don't want to say it's not ultra biblical, because like there was like a biblical aspect of like, like the whole like Ezekiel 29:17, the path of the righteous man stuff. But even when like what was in the case and stuff like that, where he's like, I just want to I just want to like wander the streets and shit, like it was so fucking weird. And then it was John Travolta was kind of like, what, like a bum, like you want to be a bum is what he's saying. He's like, you want to be a homeless man, and he was like, you just don't get it.
And then here's the beauty part about
He was
that.
principled.
Like, yeah, and here's the crazy part about that. His decision was why he wasn't at Butch's house when Butch went back to the house to go get his watch.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's why
yeah, you're right.
and think about this.
Yeah,
If he
brilliant.
was there, he probably would have killed Butch before Butch could grab that gun and kill Vincent Vega.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's a possibility.
there-
Yeah, Vincent probably would still be alive if Jules was
he would
there.
still be alive.
Yeah, 100%. Because he would be taking a shit.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
even though Vincent Vega's making fun of him at the restaurant, he's like, fucking what's his name's gonna laugh when he hears what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're stupid for just leaving the game
Right.
just because you had a come to Jesus moment. And then look, if he was there, he would have either saved Vince's life or he would have died with Vincent.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Did you see there was I saw, I think it was shot on like 70 fucking 6mm too, or it was ridiculous. It was I think it was a Hateful Eight.
Yeah, it was the Hateful Eight. I did see that.
Dude, there's a scene in that fucking movie that I saw it in the fucking movies, and my wife and I, and like, dude, there's a fucking scene that's so fucked up in it. You say you saw it?
Mm-hmm.
When Samuel L. Jackson's telling him the story about what the fucking white guy was doing.
Oh my god, that's my favorite scene.
Dude, that scene is so fucking disturbing.
I love that scene.
Hey, welcome, Flair. Thank you for the follow, bro. I appreciate it, man. Whoever it is that you're following. It could have been you, could have been me. Not sure.
That's okay. We appreciate it all. And I
love it.
Full disclosure, I'm drunk. Like drunk.
Maybe we should cut it short, man.
Oh, fuck that, man.
Cut it short. We're going for the full 3 hours right now. Actually, how long has this been going?
Late.
Oh, we're coming up on the 3-hour window, dude. Might have to fucking call it an evening.
It may. But my point is that Hateful Eight is one of those movies that it's you can't expect too much from it.
I thought it was really fucking well done. That scene just caught me off guard, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like he was like of all the things that you could say to throw somebody over the edge, like it was pretty fucked, man.
I love that scene. It's one of my favorites of the. My other favorite of the movie is when Kurt Russell breaks the guitar, because if you've heard the behind the scenes, that guitar was an authentic guitar from that time period, and he didn't know that.
Oh my god, really?
He broke that guitar. Oops. And then afterwards, everybody's face turned pale, and then he realized that it was the problem.
Like, that's awesome, man.
What did I do?
Yo, speaking about fucking Kurt Russell, man.
Yeah,
like,
he's the best.
Oh my god, you want to talk about, dude? Like, I'm looking at his filmography right now. It's like, dude, Big Trouble in Little China is amazing, but like this guy is done.
By the way, he's done the Santa Claus movies as his last couple of movies.
I know. Yeah.
I've watched those movies.
Are they any good?
And for family movies, they're okay.
Yeah, like if I want to throw it on with like my daughter or whatever, and like,
I will say this: they're enjoyable because of him, because he's a fantastic actor. He's very he's down to earth. Like,
yeah, he's awesome, man.
If there's anybody who could play Santa Claus, is him. because he has the mojo.
Yo,
So,
let me. Speaking of Christmas movies, I know it's like fucking Christmas in July right now, but I don't care. There's a
I don't know.
movie that my daughter wants to watch. It was
Uh-huh.
called Jack Frost.
I heard of it, but I've never watched it. But I know
Okay.
about it.
This
Great
movie is
competing.
fucked up, and like I'm like, why? I told her, I was like this movie's hot garbage. Like I had to
Yeah.
tell her, this movie. It's Michael Keaton, okay, and I guess like him and they had like, I guess they were like it was a broken home type of situation, but he, I believe, dies and comes back as a fucking snowman.
A
And
creepy.
it's, dude, it is like absolutely 90s level Nickelodeon batshit fucking crazy. That it's so fucking, because he was like a fucking rock star and shit, but like he ends up becoming this fucking snowman that I have on screen, and like I guess it's a father and son relationship movie for the most part, bonding, and it's really fucking weird, man. Like
I've
a
seen
father
it.
who can't keep his promises is killed in a car accident. 1 year later, he returns as a fucking snowman who has a
That's a
final
kid-
chance to put things right with his son before he's gone forever.
That's definitely a kids movie. Like,
Right?
my
Like,
dad too.
dude, it is the dankest fucking shit. Like if you saw this trailer, it is, holy shit, man. It is really bad. It's nightmare fuel. But I just wanted to bring that up because, like, you know, when it comes to shitty Christmas movies, I'm all for them for the most part, but that one was pretty bad. I
You
like
know what
Tim
I love
Allen's Santa Claus movies. I kind of frequent those every year, but
And you know what I'll say? You were just watching the trailer briefly, and I'll just say it's really funny that this is a kids movie, and then I just saw two kids throw snowballs,
as
and they
boobs,
landed directly on the boobs as
yep.
titties, because that's what you want in a kids movie.
Dude, have you ever seen have you seen Shrek 2 lately? Like recently?
I haven't seen it, but I do remember it
Okay.
enough where I think you can tell me the scenes, and I should remember.
Well, yeah, it's more so of like if you revisit those movies now, especially like with your kids or whatever, you'll notice the amount of adult humor is unbelievable.
Innuendo. There you go. That's
It
what you
is
call it.
unbelievable. Yeah,
Yeah.
the innuendo is nuts, but like it is on a fucking monolithic level that I don't think I've ever recognized. The more I watch it, the more I'm like, holy shit, that's hilarious. It's very
The biggest
cleverly done because it's written really well.
the biggest joke of the movie is the fact that Lord Farquaad is short, and he compensates for his tiny dick by fucking having everything around him big.
Yeah,
And they mention that time and time again. They're
it's
like, "I'm just
amazing.
compensating for something." And every adult knows what the fuck they mean. They're He's compensating for his tiny dick. But it's funny because it's a kids movie, and the kids are probably like, "What's he compensating for? He's compensating for his tiny dick."
Oh my god, dude, you recently saw Hereditary and you told me how much you like Toni Collette.
Yeah, really.
Um,
I will suck on Toni Collette's toes.
I forgot that she was also the mother in Krampus, which arguably is like the best fucking holiday movie ever made.
Was she the mother in the remake of Fright Night? Can you check that real quick?
Yeah,
There's
I'm
the
on it
remake of
now.
Fright Night with
Wait, fucking, they remade Fright Night?
yeah, you didn't know that? It was
When the fuck did that happen?
who plays the penguin? What's his name? Colin Farrell. He plays the vampire. And Anton, I can't remember his name. He died.
Yeah, you're right. It's in 2011. She's in it. Yep.
Oh, she is in it.
Yeah, she plays Jane Brewster,
She was in it, and she's a MILF in the movie.
Charlie's son or mother, I guess.
Yeah, she's a MILF in the movie.
Holy shit! You know, I never saw this movie.
You
I
know
love
what
I love
else?
the fucking original. I revisit the original pretty frequently, and like it's so fucking it's so dank, right? Like it's so fucking bad. Like there's no fucking way in hell that anybody would ever find the dude that played the vampire to be attractive at that time period. Like I just
Harry Hamlin? Is that
I
who
think
played the vampire from the first Fright Night? Bring that up. Love to
Chris
see who the
Sarandon. No, this dude. Oh, Jerry Dandridge.
Jared Dandridge.
Yeah, that's the name of the character. His name is Chris Sarandon.
Oh, Chris Sarandon. I thought it was
think
Harry
that's him.
Hamlin for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's him. He looks fucking like dude.
But
That's not a look at this stream. This is not an attractive vampire.
No,
All
he
right, that's
was.
like that's some fucking smarmy
Cut.
cocaine
movie
dealer. I would expect to see this guy in like starring in Blow, not Fright Night.
I thought it was Harry Hamlin. Shit, man.
No.
I didn't realize there's some other
Yeah,
actor.
that movie. I should probably watch that. Was the remake any good?
The remake is not good.
Oh,
The
okay.
remake is like Total Recall remake,
Oh
which
man.
also stars Colin Farrell.
Oh, don't even get me
Colin
started. Fucking
Yeah,
Jesus.
don't get me wrong. Colin Farrell can make some good movies here and there. He has an Irish style movie. I can't remember the fucking name of it. It's like a television series that's really good. But I know you hate
the fucking the Banshees of
that's-
Inisherin.
There you go, the Banshees of Inisherin. I heard that's actually a really good series. But he's also coming out with the Joker series.
I
what is
think
it?
that Colin Farrell is hot fucking garbage. I think he was amazing as the Penguin in Batman. He was the only redeeming quality in that new Batman movie, but he was good in like Phone Booth, and SWAT.
I'm a bit nonplussed about him. I want to comment on the fact that he's on True Detective.
Oh
season
yeah.
Or season 2 or season 3, I can't remember, but I didn't watch
Actually,
it,
you know
so-
what? He doesn't suck. What I'm going to say is I'm going to clarify. He is a good supporting actor, not very good as the lead, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Like he's not star power for me to be like, oh, that's cool. Like he's just fucking there and he's annoying.
Well, what do you think? Do you think you're gonna watch sorry, not the Joker, the Penguin series? Think you're gonna watch the Penguin series?
Yeah, I would probably watch that, dude. Like I said, like that. He was fucking great.
Let's see how it comes out.
He
I'm
was
curious
fucking
to
great.
see.
Are
Not
they
that I'm-
are they trying to mix like is like Batman gonna be in that shit or is it just Penguin?
I think it's just going to be straight Penguin. I think it's going to be a situation where they're just going to be focused on him ascending from low level thug to Kingpin.
I told you I was
I think-
rewatching Barry, and Bill Hader is really good at what he does.
Yeah, he wrote an episode of Star Wars. I don't remember which one, but he wrote an episode. Of
Dude,
Star
he's
Wars.
fucking brilliant. Like he writes and directs everything on Barry. Like he what the hell, dude? There was that one episode I passed. It was in the second season a few nights ago. The one where like where the cop kind of extorts him to go kill like the fucking dude that like was I guess like seeing his ex-wife now, and the guy turns out to be like a fucking like gold medal winning Olympic Taekwondo champion. Yeah, and like he's got like that daughter that's fucking bizarre as shit. It was like the episode was so fucking weird where like the daughter was like superhuman.
Yeah.
Do you remember that where she's like jumping around on a fucking oh man, it was so weird.
You know what I like about Barry is that the acting is phenomenal, but his facial expressions, like the actor himself, Bill Hader, he
Yeah.
has some fantastic facial expressions. Like his eyes can tell you how he feels.
He's got like a pretty wide range too, which I like.
He really does. He's an actor that has a really good range, especially for a comedian, for someone who's been on SNL and stuff. Like when I look in his eyes in that show, I can tell his emotion much better than if you told me what his emotion was. He's a really good face actor.
There was was it the second season was kind of meh, but like I'm now into the third season, which I've never seen. So like the next two seasons, like I have like third and fourth, and I've never seen them.
I'll say this about Barry. It's one of those shows that takes you completely out of your comfort zone. And I like that. I like a show that will
It's a good mix,
take
yeah.
zone, and this show does, because you want Barry to survive, you want him to do well, you don't want him to get caught, you want him to actually succeed,
Yeah.
and he doesn't. And he doesn't do that. And I like that. I like the fact that, this is the guy who's supposed to be your hero, and he's far from it.
Oh yeah, man. He's flawed big time. He did that train wreck movie with Amy Schumer.
I'd love to see what's going to happen to him in the final season. In my
Yeah,
head,
I can never tell where the show's gonna go. So like, I don't know.
in my head, I thought that maybe the CIA, yes, the CIA would recruit him, and then he would become a government assassin again, and then he would just go back to all those people who fucking said like, "Oh, you're not gonna make it. You're an awful person," and
Yeah,
he would just go back to them and be like, "You know what? I can kill people now, and the government loves it," and
he's
just show
yeah.
that the world isn't black or white. The world isn't good and evil. The world is just
Yeah, he
gray.
always felt guilty about what he's doing, but he always like made sure that like the people that he was killing, he always like said like they're not good people. But
He's Gray character in a gray world,
I love
and I
the
think
dude, the fucking bald Chechnyan, the fucking guy with like the weird accent. He is fucking hilarious in that.
they were gonna kill him off, but
They probably did. I don't know because like I haven't started.
I think that he's a beloved actor when they didn't kill him off initially, but they were gonna kill him off in the last season.
His
And
name
they
is
just couldn't.
Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah, they just couldn't kill him off because he's such a great actor. Like, you want to see him on screen,
He's
so
great comic relief too.
it's hard to kill a character off like that. You want to keep them around, but
That
you
dude
want
looks
to
like powder.
Yeah, he does. He is powder.
We always fucking bring up that powder movie. I do. It's been so long since I've seen that shit.
Jeff Goldblum was in it, right? Because
No, it was fucking Sean Patrick Flannery.
oh fuck, I thought
Oh
it
wait, no,
was-
you're right. Yeah, he plays Donald Ripley. Jeff Goldblum. My
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in over 20 years. So
Who
this
plays
is
fucking?
another
Who
movie
plays powder? That's all I want to know.
I don't know. I think he's a no-namer.
I don't know, man.
But this is another movie that I'd like to record myself watching. because I
Powder?
think this is interesting to watch.
Powder. That's fucking legend, dude.
I think I'd like to record myself watching that because I haven't watched it in over 20 years. I haven't watched this since I lived in Cliffwood Beach. That's the last time I watched it.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going
so
back. I haven't seen it in probably the same amount of time. I wonder if, dude, I wonder if there's a way to like fucking synchronize watching a movie like that.
Well, I was looking into that because there's a way to watch movies on Discord, but where you can do like a watch together type of deal.
That would be pretty
But
cool.
I haven't looked fully into it.
Yeah, I should check into that because, like, I'm sure fucking so many other people would love to fucking.
Powder's an interesting one to watch because I don't remember 80% of the movie. There's like certain scenes that pop up in my head. Like,
I'm
when
gonna
he's
fucking
in
say
the-
it's probably because it was garbage, but I don't know.
But exactly, that's
Wait,
the thing. You
Richard
don't
Salva. Wait a minute, Victor Salva directed this? Isn't that dude? Isn't he a fucking child predator? Hold on,
Yes,
I'm pretty
familiar.
sure. Oh my god, yeah, dude. Yes, Victor Salva directed that, by the way, and he did Jeepers Creepers 3. Yeah, Victor
Oh.
Salva, he served 15 months in prison in the late 80s for raping a 12-year-old.
For fuck's sake.
So that means that the
man.
fucking dude raped a 12-year-old, got out of fucking prison, made powder, the Jeepers Creepers movies, all of them. And the guy was a fucking convicted pedophile.
Reminds me of the guy from
I fucking hate Hollywood, man.
Howard the Duck.
Oh my god, yeah. Fucking when I found
When
out
I
that dude was a fucking rapist, I was like, holy shit. Like
Yeah.
that flew right under my radar.
Especially since there's a movie that he's in that I
The hell
think
was
they're
the
really
principal's name? I'm trying to remember. He was in Ferris Bueller as well.
yeah,
Jeffrey
what was it?
Jones. That's his name.
I can't believe it. I can't believe he was a
Yeah, let me switch the screen so people can fucking
blows my
see.
mind.
This guy here, convicted fucking rapist, child rapist. Yeah. Holy shit. I can't believe that flew around into my. You know, it's so funny because like when I saw that directed by Victor Salva, I'm like, that name sounds so fucking familiar. It's so
That
funny he
sounds
did
so
Powder. It's crazy.
yeah. That movie was an underrated movie because let's be honest, what's the last time you heard anybody talk about that movie?
Powder?
I
Fucking never.
remember.
That shit is. I wouldn't even know if that's cult classic either. Like that's just classic. Like
Should do a re
1995, I think that movie came out. Let me check. But also another one on that fucking level too. Would be like K-Pax with fucking the other
Oh,
rapist.
funny.
With
Yeah,
the other rapist, fucking
real
Kevin
rapist.
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
When
this
you
movie came out
watch
in '95, dog.
and when you watch, I didn't know much about Kevin Spacey about his whole situation, and then one day I decided to watch like a couple of documentaries on it.
Oh,
God damn, dude. He molested a nepo babies.
a
Who
what?
the fuck is it? Meaning like an actor's son or daughter
Oh,
who is
dude,
also.
he is a fucking monster, man.
I want to say it was Richard Dreyfuss's son.
No way. Really?
Happened was Richard Dreyfuss's son went for a role with Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey got spicy with him. Like, I mean, grabbing his hand and putting it on his crotch type of spicy. And then he said that he never told his dad because, it would have devastated his dad. And then, of course, he told him after, and his dad was pissed off. I want to say it was Richard Dreyfuss, but I can't remember
Yeah, it was Harry Dreyfus, the son of Oscar-winning Richard Dreyfuss, wrote a first-person column in BuzzFeed describing how Kevin Spacey groped his genitals when he was 18 and his father
There
was
you
in the
go.
room.
Sometimes it sounds like I'm making up shit, and to be honest, there is maybe sometimes where I am making up shit, especially
No,
when
that
I'm as buzzed as I am now. But
that shit. I mean,
there's
it wouldn't.
sometimes
I
where
mean,
I
I know
think
he has like a long list of people. So
yeah. But this was, I think this one caught me as interesting because of the fact that he felt really uncomfortable and he didn't tell his dad. And I put myself in his shirt and his shoes, and I think I would do the same thing.
oh man, there's
And
like
I think that's why it feels real, is because I can see him not telling anybody because he doesn't want to upset his dad and stuff like that. And his career, he wants his career to take off. If he accused this big name actor of sexually abusing him, he's probably not going to have a career anymore. So
I guarantee
I
you
think
he's on Epstein. I I'm gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, all right. I was gonna say there's no way in hell that fucking Spacey wasn't on Epstein Island, and he was.
it's an interesting thing. I never knew anything about the Kevin Spacey thing until like it really blew up. I didn't know anything about that.
I don't
And
think
I
anybody
still
really did. Everybody kept it like kind of under wraps and shit because like nobody talked about it. There was also
really,
that Cappy guy. Like you know about Cappy?
I don't actually.
Cappy Isaac. He was like some Hollywood guy. He was friends with like I think it was like Seth Green and all these guys. He was
Oh,
blowing up about the whole Epstein thing. He was very big online about fucking Epstein and the fucking ring and the child molestation and the fucking trafficking and shit. And he threw himself off a bridge.
Jesus,
Yeah, they fucking they had him killed.
Jesus.
Yeah, they said
I
like
mean,
he threw himself off a bridge, but this is him
I,
here.
I, people sometimes look at that and they say like, "Oh, you've got your tinfoil hat on." Let me tell you something. If you've got enough money,
Yeah,
you can do whatever the fuck you want when you have enough money.
this dude here,
If
rest in
you have enough
peace.
money, you can pay people to just do shit. Doesn't fucking matter. There's no morality when it comes to money. Some people don't have a line that they are not going to cross when it comes
Well,
to
dude,
getting paid.
you know that like that DJ or that fucking dance music guy Avicii or whatever his name is. It was rumored that he also was involved in taking down that ring, and he's dead.
Oh,
Also,
really?
yeah, like Chris Cornell and the Chester from Linkin Park apparently is rumored that they knew about it and were speaking out about it. It's
I
just
mean,
it's no
it
coincidence. All
goes
of a sudden, like these people are dying, but like all of a sudden, like nobody, you know, it's like I want to see I want to see the court records when Ghislaine Maxwell went to prison. Like she's in jail, dude, and we don't know anybody. You know, we know who's on the flight logs, but like we don't know anything. The shit's fucked up, and like I do think that Hollywood is a messed up place. I mean, look at I mean, if you look no further than fucking Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they got chewed up. They got chewed up and spit out.
Yep.
A lot
That's
of, a lot of.
that's why like I would never ever want to be involved in that.
Yeah, but again, I think I truly think that if you're a person that really wants to make movies, stop waiting on Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Take
Like, I know
take
it's
examples from Army of Darkness, arguably the best of the Evil Deads.
but more importantly, like I get it. You know, you wanna sometimes you gotta play the game to win the game. If you want to win the lottery, you actually play the lottery.
Yep.
So I get it that you want to jump into the Hollywood thing, but
Nah.
right now you with the technology that we have, you can make a movie with less than $1,000. You can actually, if you really have a good idea, you can make a good movie.
I
So
wonder
just do it.
I wonder how much the
Stop
budget for Army of Darkness was.
I'd love to know too. I know I keep going back to the movie Skinamarink, and it seems
Ah,
like a
fuck
cheap
that. That's
way.
like 15,000. That's like dirt cheap. I mean, Army of
Yeah,
Darkness actually had a fucking budget.
yeah. But my point is that,
11
like,
million.
yeah. But my point is that imagine if you had an iPhone from 2023 in the time where you were making Army of Darkness, or not, sorry, not Army of Darkness, but Evil Dead 2. You could probably use that iPhone to record pretty much everything.
Did you ever hear that fucking it was a really funny fucking conspiracy theory about there's like these photographs of Mike Tyson fighting in like the late 80s, early 90s, and there's a dude with an iPhone in like the fucking front row.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna fucking pull it up.
Well,
It's
when you pull that up, I'll be right back. I'm
all
gonna
right, all right.
bathroom it, but I'd
Yeah,
love to.
we'll end on that one, but it's gonna be good. I'm gonna pull it up. Let me find it.
A second.
Tyson. Return. He plans to go straight ahead, but with elusiveness, something he got away from.
All right, so in 1995, when Tyson was fighting McNeely, there's somebody right here. You could see it. Somebody's holding like what they said is an iPhone and proof of a time traveler, which I think is absolutely awesome. Probably just scared the fucking shit out of everybody with that music. Apologies on that one. All right, you ready for this one?
Okay, I am ready.
All right. So in 1995, let me switch back. In 1995, Mike Tyson was fighting McNeely.
Oh my god, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, you see that shit? People are saying it's an iPhone, and it's proof of a time traveler. Tell me
I
that's
just
not the
think-
fucking coolest shit.
It's funny to me that like we would come up with such a
Powerful, like a fucking powerful technology as time travel, and then we go back to see a Mike Tyson fight.
I know, right? But like the crazy thing is like it's like the person like sources like actual cameras from the time period, and they're like, "Yo, what camera looks like that?" None. And it's like it's pretty convincing, man. Like when you really look at it, I mean, look, it's like fucking
'Cause I saw it
yeah, it's like
immediately.
240p. You can barely make it out, but it does. It looks exactly like a fucking
Just
iPhone,
look at the fucking flash, which is
dude. It's
dude, no
crazy.
fucking camera around that time had a flash
Crazy.
like
It's fucking nuts, man. And like, look at
that.
it.
I love
Look, clear as
it. I
day.
genuinely love it. I think that's a G.
Clear as day. Somebody is looking at a cell phone or something. I don't know what the hell that could be. Hold
Catch that fucking guy and just be like, "What the fuck are you doing watching a Mike Tyson fight when you have time travel?"
I
Like,
know,
why don't
man.
you go fucking go
well,
ahead
it's like
with-
he's probably betting on the fight, right?
yeah, bro.
That's what I would be doing. Holy shit. But like, yeah, it was a pretty interesting conspiracy theory. Like,
I like that. I like that conspiracy theory.
yeah,
That's a
because it's
funny-
not like it's fun. It's a good one. That one's pretty good. Of course, like Snopes has it, right? It's like false. It's like they have to fucking rub the fucking fun out of everything. You know, it's like, well, how was Snopes there? Give me a break.
It looks so funny though. It really
Yeah,
does.
we
look
we have to fact check time travel now. Give me a break.
I think he said no because it was a black person holding the iPhone. He's just being racist. It's like there's no way that a black person knows.
I think it's Asian.
Oh, it's an Asian.
Yeah, I think so. I can't tell, to
I
be honest.
believe it even more. If it's an Asian person creating time travel, I believe it more because if there's one type of people that are going to create,
Dude,
time
check it
travel,
out though. It's like it has a flash and everything, man.
It's genius. It's genius. I love it. I love
That's
everything.
that's
about it.
definitely I think like we should do a segment that's like geared towards awesome conspiracy theories of that quality.
I like that. I genuinely.
That one's pretty fucking good. There's
I mean, it flashes. I mean, you put that it flashes, and I love that.
there was dude, there's one that involves fucking Baron Trump.
Yeah,
like,
really.
yeah, did you ever hear that one? That one's fucking awesome. We got to save it for next week, but like I'm going to gather all the facts about it and it's going to blow your fucking mind. Like it literally is a book that was written in the late 1800s that involves the Trump family, Trump Tower, time travel, and like becoming president. It was fucking nuts. I was like, holy shit, this is like insane. Like where I'm like, maybe there are multiple universes, but like, cause I don't know. It's like, there's also like that thing where Nikolai Tesla, Trump's uncle, was involved with Nikolai Tesla, like legitimately. Like I'm not even making that up.
You
Where-
grab him and-
Yeah, like where fucking Orange Man is literally like tied to Nikolai Tesla, like legit. I'm not even like that's not even part of the fucking conspiracy theory, which is weird. But like, yeah, his uncle and shit was big in MIT and like all this other stuff. So like people are trying to connect the two stories together, saying that like he has the capability of time travel because Nikolai Tesla had the ability to, like he knew about it. So they're saying that like Baron Trump is referenced. Dude, in the book, Baron is referenced by name, including Trump, the last name.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's fucking crazy. I'm gonna gather all the facts and we'll do it next week. But like, it is fucking bizarre. That was a good one. There's a couple of them that I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. Where, you know, like the flat Earth conspiracy guys. Where,
Oh, I
they're-
love watching. those
oh
videos,
my
by
god,
the way.
it's fucking awesome, right? Like I have a.
They really try. They try so fucking hard.
They really
So
do. Like
fucking-
I have a family member who's like a big flat earther, and they try to like religious cult you into believing in flat Earth
they
and
will.
shit.
They will fucking pull out.
Yeah.
many
There's a
things
lot of fucking convincing shit. Like when you look at it from surface
Yeah.
level, you're like, oh my god,
Until
right?
you
Like
take a rocket up there, or until somebody
Yeah.
just straight up brings a plane up there and proves it completely wrong.
Well,
But
one of the most amazing things about it I found was something so simple. It's like, you ever look at the UN flag? Did you know about this?
oh, I did, but at the
Yeah.
same
Like,
time,
how fucking awesome is that? Like, when you look at the flag for the United Nations, it's literally a flag of flat Earth, and it's like,
yeah,
holy shit! But there's actually a term for that. It's a camera angle when you're taking it directly from the front, like from the top down. I forgot what the fuck they name it. There's a
it's
specific.
kind of like globe.
Yeah, and that's why there's like stretching and shit that happens around the sides of
Exactly. You
the
have
globe.
to. You have
Yeah.
to do it in order to show people the
Yeah.
exact
But like, yeah,
size.
it's pretty cool. It's like, yo, that's why, like, the fucking United Nations flag is like fucking flat Earth. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, man. Yeah, the Earth's got to be flat.
I've watched
Some pretty
I've,
convincing shit.
yeah, I've watched some stuff on that, and I think the biggest takeaway is that you're trying to assume that the United Nations is so fucking organized and smart that they would hide the flat Earth from the entire world. And
Yeah. Well, it's also
they,
like, okay, there's people
I
that
think they're
the
smart,
200
and
the
they're
200-foot
fucking
ice wall that's supposedly Antarctica that surrounds the entire planet or whatever dish that we live on.
where is
Yeah.
photos of it?
Well,
But
they have like this historical proof of all these people that were like fucking sailing over there and shit, but like they try to say that that it's like you can't ever go to Antarctica, and I'm like, well, that's just like provably
Yeah,
false, right?
but there's
Like,
no law. It's not a United States like territory or anything. It's just Antarctica. So like
yeah,
anybody from any country at any time can buy a plane or book a plane
yeah.
and just go down
Like
there.
there's groups of scientists that literally work in Antarctica, but
Exactly.
it's weird. It's just like flight plans and shit like that. And it's like, well, there's certain things about it that I'm like, okay, I can understand on why somebody would be skeptical, but then there's also like, all right, like the poles of like Earth. I mean, just
I
the
think-
fact that I mean, not just like Australia where water spins in the opposite direction. I'm talking about just constellational stars up in the sky where they're different in the southern hemisphere than they would be in the northern hemisphere, and the fact that you can't see southern hemisphere constellations in the northern hemisphere tells you that it's not a fucking disc, right? Like it's legitimately a globe.
If the United Nations too much credit, they're morons.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It is crazy to think that they would have some type of conspiracy where they are hiding from the entire world flawlessly that the world is flat. Like,
Dude, but it's true, but like one of the where it falls apart for me is not so much like we'll calculate like distance and how something doesn't vanish over curvature of the Earth. I get it, but like when it starts to be like, okay, well, what about NASA, rockets, SpaceX, Elon Musk, and all that? Well, they're in on it. It's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, they're just firing rockets up in the sky and they crash into the ground. And I'm like, so wait, you're saying that they don't fire rockets? And yeah, they're like, no, they trick everybody just to steal our tax dollars. I'm like, yeah, you lost me right there.
And there you go. I mean, and the beauty part is that when you have a person like Elon Musk,
Yeah,
who is anti-government, who fucking
yeah,
is
for the
all
most part.
he's all about, let's just say he's all about himself. Like he's not looking out for A or B. He's looking out for himself.
Oh, dude, speaking of which, Twitter's fucking on fire right now. He just named the executive chair of the World Economic Forum, the WEF, as his fucking CEO for
He's an
Twitter.
NBC, by the way. So like, I think it's funny that like people complain about the fact that liberals, I guess they hate Elon Musk, but he just hired a liberal to take over his.
Yeah, so like everybody's like, "What'd you do? You just killed Twitter."
It's all about money, and I think that's my whole point. Is like,
Well, she's brilliant when it comes to what she did in NBC and their video platforms, and I know that what he's trying to do. He announced that he is building X.com, so it's an all-in-one thing. So he wants her expertise in terms of the marketability and where the platform is going to be going in the future. So like, we'll see. I mean, I don't really care either way, to be honest.
For me, Elon Musk is an entrepreneur, plain and simple. He's an entrepreneur.
I mean, he's got more money. He's the richest fucking guy in the world for a reason.
Yeah. He's always trying to sell something. He's always trying to make money. And you can hate him or love him, but the reality is that he's living in a capitalist society. He's trying to get more money than what he has.
Nah. I mean, the
On the
guy's
wrong
got
way.
so much fucking money. Oh, dude, that's the movie I wanted to fucking watch. Thank God. All right, I gotta write this down. It's I haven't seen it in years. It's Reanimator.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good one.
it's a fucking good one. Oh, dude, I uploaded fucking Primer for you, so I'm gonna send you the link. It's three
Okay.
gigs.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
watch it.
So
It
I'm
sounds
gonna
like
send you the link. We'll fucking cut the stream down and take it to private chat. But when we shut the fucking stream down, for those of you watching us, thank you, appreciate it. Smash that like and subscribe button, and